Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good to be with you. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything, but if you do, remember this. All 3 hours of the program posted every day upon the conclusion of the show. You don't have to miss anything, but go there to find it if you do, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. It's brought to you with limited commercial interruption. Thanks to our great sponsor, podcast sponsor, Carlton Dean, and the fine folks at Southland Commercial, SVN. Man, resources to make you money in commercial real estate, income-producing properties. Go to carltondean.com. Email the show if you want. JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. WTSM app for your mobile devices. That's a good thing. And if you want to watch on YouTube, you can. Thanks for watching. In fact, go to ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube, and you'll find us. All right, so Florida State season is no more. That's that. Florida State falls in Omaha last night. Pretty straightforward affair. Not a lot of mystery here. Not a lot of intrigue as to what happened. Cole Sands had a nightmarish start, and that doomed Florida State to a loss. And that's frustrating. We talked yesterday on the program that some of the things you can't foresee before a game of baseball. We talk about the elements of the game all the time, things you're going to have to do well. But in singular one-offs, the one thing that can't happen is you can't have your starting pitcher have a bad night. And he did. He was imminently hittable, and hit they did, meaning LSU, and that spelled good night. And that's, I said when we were talking, I thought about what would have to happen for Florida State to make a deep run, to come out of the losers bracket. Even in talking about yesterday's game and trying to get a win, we said, well, the wild card is you don't know what Cole Sands is going to give you. You don't know, is this a kid who's going to give you a good 4, 5, 6 inning start, and you got a chance to win the game. Maybe in the middle innings it's a one-run game one way or the other, 4-4, 5-4, something like that. We both figured it might be pretty high scoring. But LSU's pitcher gave them a very good start, and so you give him credit, and you feel bad for Cole Sands because obviously nobody wants to do that. He wasn't trying to be bad, but really his start last night was kind of a microcosm of his season. Just for whatever reason, he could not get on track this year. He has promising stuff. There's reason that the coaches believe in him and continue to roll him out there because when you talk to them, they'll talk about the plus stuff he has, the many pitches he can throw for strikes. Too often, in my opinion, he's up in the zone early. And the secondary stuff, he can't always throw for strikes. And people can sit on dead red all day long, really at any high level of baseball. And if you're not going to locate, you're going to get hurt. And he did. And so when that happened and you're down 5 runs in a blink of an eye, it felt like, the pin was already up. It wasn't like Martin was waiting forever to get somebody up. They had up. They had Carp up, I should say. And 3-run homer will hurt your feelings. You got to keep it in the yard in that situation so you can get the other guy in. If he gives up a single there, even if he walks a guy, you got a chance to fight out of that thing with maybe 2-3 runs instead of it being 5.
Yeah, I think that was his last hitter. If it's a base runner, if it's a hit, whatever.
He was going to be gone one way or the other.
If he records the out, then you keep going until the next sign of trouble. That seemed to be the way it was. He snapped off a couple of nice change-ups at 76, but then most of the time, you saw the numbers. They were elevated, the speed was elevated, and it was like a helicopter almost, but it had nothing on it. It was straight. And the hard part is that sometimes guys find stuff, as they're working through jams.
But when you got one game.
And as brutal as this format is, I mean, really, it's almost like a Game 7 all the time. Even if you haven't lost
you don't have time, right? You got to get somebody.
And Carp was getting ready, and he gave us a chance. I mean,
he
that's
pitched
the
very
thing.
well. Yeah.
In the game of college baseball, 5-0 isn't a death sentence. It's close, but it's not the end of the world, especially in that ballpark. But it's not over at that point. And Carp gave us a chance, to try to peck away at that lead.
Well, and Tom, really, I want to address something real quick because it's easy when Carp comes in and goes over 5 innings and strikes out 7 and does fight and give you a shot to say, well, why didn't we start him? Well, I mean, okay. You start him and he gives up 5 runs or what have you, and you've got Sands in the bullpen, the same conversation's happening. You can't predict that. You don't know that. I mean, all year long, they've had a hard time finding really a reliable second pitcher to Holton. Now, I know they pitched backwards in the rotation, but Holton was your most consistent arm. He gave you the best chance to win each night out. And really, he was that way throughout the course of the season. But Sands was pretty bad all year long, wildly inconsistent. Parrish, Karp, all those guys had starts where they'd show signs, but they couldn't consistently put it together. We didn't see that from them most of the year. So they didn't really have a very reliable two. When they got hot at the end of the year, they did pitch a lot better, and that gave you hope. And frankly, it didn't just give you hope. It allowed for them to go on the run that they did. And by any measure, obviously making it to the College World Series and being one of the last 6 teams standing, if you will, 8 when you first get out there, but we weren't the first eliminated. So, you're one of the last 7 teams standing in all of college baseball. You cannot call that a failure. They had a good season. But obviously, given the weight of history, the fact that they haven't won a World Series, people feel like if you get out there and don't win it, the season as a whole is a failure. This was not a national seed for Martin. This isn't one of those teams that was a 2 or a 3 or a 1 that got out there and got bounced in 2. They weren't seeded. So it's not surprising that they fell to a team, I think LSU's the 4th seed. Yeah, I mean, okay. It's frustrating.
You could have been in that same game, winning your first and then losing the winner's bracket game to Oregon State. But still, the one thing that hurts now that we're done, and they arrived back in Tallahassee a couple hours ago, you wish you gave yourself a chance to play Oregon State in that winner's bracket game.
Yeah,
that's the killer. This one last night hurt. But I think that 9th inning mini rally with the back-to-back home runs is a mirage because I don't think Poche goes back out there unless there is a 5-run lead because they have a kid like Hess who's throwing 96. So, I think if it's a true save situation, you're not seeing that pitcher against those hitters in the 9th inning. It's the game 1 against LSU. That's the one that's going to sting. And that's the one that we're going to remember years from now when we talk about, things that have happened to us in the College World Series. That's the one that we're going to remember from this year and then this season's team, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that when you get to the losers bracket, this thing is set up the way the tournament format works. It's not a 4 out of 7 like you have in Major League Baseball, where you can have a bad game and you come back the next day, play that team, and I'm seeing their 2-pitcher, their 3-pitcher, their 4, all of that. It's not set up that way. College baseball can't be. So baseball ideally would be decided differently than the way it's decided in a truncated tournament format. But them's the rules. That's the way it works. And because that's the way the tournament format is set up and has been for a very long time, at least now they have a best 2 out of 3 when you get to the finals, which is a hell of a lot better than the way it used to be where you get beaten a one-off and that's the end of your season, which is the current complaint about the wild card situation in Major League Baseball where, I don't know, a team could win 98 games and lose 1, and thanks for playing. So that said, you can't lose one of those first 2 games, really. I mean, you can. It's been done. But statistically, you look at the chances of you coming out of that loser's bracket. Whenever it happens, if you lose one of the first 2 games, you're in deep, deep trouble. LSU now has to beat Oregon State twice. They might, but good luck. I don't think so. And the odds are stacked against them. So you look at this and you realize that game, that loss, that heartbreaking defeat that you referenced, the 3 errors in 1 play, yeah, that's the one. That sent you to the loser's bracket in a game you led the entirety, and you probably deserved a better fate. I guess that's unfair to say, too. I mean, the errors weren't the result of a fluke. The errors were the result of mistakes that were made by our players. So, that costs you a game. And you're right. That's the one I'll remember, not last night's. Last night's loss is the final nail in the coffin. It's the end of the season. There's a finality to all of that kind of feels, burdensome, but you kind of weren't given a chance. And again, on a day where you kind of want to celebrate the turnaround at the end of the year and the trek back to Omaha, you can't win a national championship unless you're routinely getting back to Omaha. We say this all the time. You got to give yourself a fighting chance by getting out there. And maybe some things go your way, and maybe you get in a position to get in that championship series, and you end that drought, that empty trophy case. But if it is the start of a run of Omaha's where they go 3 of the next 4 years, because, next year's pitching staff looks good. But let's say they go 2 of the next 3 years, and this was the start of a great run again, we'll look at this as a jumping-off place. The fact that it's been sparse, these trips to Omaha, that you feel that sense of desperation when you get out there. I hope it's not just a one-off. I hope they are on the verge of getting back out there pretty consistently. We were also spoiled in the 90s where that happened.
I don't think it was the storyline of the game. It's a footnote. You know, if you want to complain about poor umpiring.
Well, that last call is ruthless. He's positioned so poorly. He's set up, I should say. The umpire is so poor. People want to know how a guy can make a call that atrocious. That doesn't cost us the game, by the way. It's just an annoyance. And it's a crappy way to end a season and a game on a ball that's 8 inches off the plate, isn't close to being a strike. In nobody's book is that a strike. Hess would tell you it's not a strike. Everybody knew that was not a strike. And that ump, probably in looking back at it, feels embarrassed. He should. He should be ashamed of himself. That's an embarrassing blunder. But he's set up that way. He has no chance to read that pitch because of how far inside he is.
No, he's like Deion Sanders. He's in Holton's hip pocket.
It's crazy.
You know? But I mean, I'm talking about the force at second.
Sure,
the force
he's
at
safe
first.
there. Yeah, no replay at that.
Which, to me, you know, I said it last night. I hate long reviews and, you know, over reviewing as much as the next guy. But in a cut and dry sport, safe and out type calls, where umpires are so much worse at the collegiate level than they are at the professional level, you might want to expand replay a little bit. And that's not a sour grapes thing. I'm talking about just from the integrity of the game standpoint. These are two brutal calls on the bases that are obvious to the naked eye as you're watching on television. I'm sure it's the same way in the ballpark. Hell, from, you know, in the upper deck or in the outfield versus 3 feet away from the bag. Unbelievable bad calls last night, but those are footnotes to me. They're not headlines because, again, you're down 5-0 before you're even done settling into your seats.
None of those calls are changing
No.
Cole Sands' outing.
Correct. There was maybe a strike 3 call that would have helped in the second inning that he called lower beneath the knees. But, again, it's not about that. The storyline is that you didn't give yourself a chance to win this game, unfortunately, and then the few times you got on the bases in the middle innings, you could only scratch across a run at a time.
Well, I think it makes it a lot easier to stomach. I think when you get blasted, when your starting pitcher gets tattooed like that, you're aggravated, you're very angry, you're frustrated because it doesn't really give you a chance to win a game, and you feel kind of out of it 20 minutes after it starts. But those are a lot easier than to take than the 3 errors in one play you lose by a run. Yeah, I mean, that game, that first game is brutal. That's hard to stomach. This one, you're kind of like, well, I mean, this is just one of those classic baseball outcomes. One guy pitches well, one guy doesn't. Thanks for playing.
And to borrow a tactic from our friend Corey Clark, this is a season, if we're just looking at the whole thing, unlike anything we've ever seen before under Martin. I mean, you consider the record at certain benchmarks of the year and how we were in danger of not finishing with a record at or above 500 in ACC play for the first time in the program's history.
Not getting to 40 wins, maybe not making the postseason. These were all things that were on the table. The team at one point was 21-15. So when I say, 46-23, you go, oh, well, that's a remarkable turnaround. So, yeah, they get credit for that, no doubt.
I don't know if magical is the right word because you don't come home with the trophy ultimately, but the run they went on is something I'm going to remember too.
But it did bring home a conference championship and a trip to Omaha.
Sure, exactly. And again, you know, that's what I'm going to remember this season for in 2 little, blips in my head, I think. 5 years down the road. It's that we couldn't lose when our backs were against the wall. It was the trip to Louisville. It was that trip up to Louisville, Kentucky, and they stayed there as they waited for the ACC tournament to start, and they just didn't lose. And then they fought back against after they lost to Tennessee Tech in the regional, and then they go on. They don't lose until they get out to Omaha. It was a lot of fun to watch this team play the last month, and if you have any hair left from the first couple of months.
As he stares at me.
Yeah, well, I know. As I was starting to say, I'm like, this is probably the poor time to say it.
I'm not sensitive about the no hair thing. It's okay.
But you might have lost the rest of it in the College World Series, but you took out 75% of it for the first 50 games of this season because they were a joke, Yeah,
they were bad. They were really bad for a lot of the year, and there were a variety of reasons for that. Some of it was they were injury-riddled. They couldn't catch a break, and you have 20-something-year-old kids catching shingles. I mean, just bizarre stuff. A star incoming player that on a follow-through throw in practice breaks his thumb. And we see the impact Mendoza would have had. I mean, they had some weird things happen.
Oh, what a tough spot for Applin last night to pinch hit in the ninth. And that, I'm like, oh, welcome back, Brett.
Yeah, nice.
Nice to see you.
But he gets an at-bat in the College World Series.
He does.
And well, hey, it is a good year. It's a tough way to end it. I hate it for Cole Sands. I mean, this is the hard part of the job because I have to say what it was. And what it was a sorry-ass start, which was one of many sorry-ass starts by Cole Sands this year. I mean, what he did last night, he did a lot of this year, which was kind of suck. And at the same time, you hear how brutal that is, and you hear the sound of that. That's what it was. I don't hold that over him, on a personal level. It can sound it. But we do try to pride ourselves on calling it like it is as best we can. And he just was bad. And I hate it for him because obviously, he knows that he didn't give his team a chance. He knows he was terrible. That'll weigh on you. I hope he rebounds. I hope he, is able to. Got the stuff too. He's got that's the big point there is that he does, and I really hope he does because I don't want that to be a lasting thing that kind of hangs with him, moving forward in his career because he does have good stuff. They got to figure that out. He's got to figure that out because you can't waste that talent and have those kinds of starts time and again.
Well, they thought they had when it came to pitch sequencing and all that kind of stuff, and then he was spotting his change. He just didn't have it last night, and that's the thing. You spotted it in the inning, and I know we're repeating ourselves from a couple minutes ago, but the bullpen's warming, and you don't think it's going to be a 3-run bomb deposited in the left field bleachers. So, I mean, every right move was made in that circumstance. It's just the thing that couldn't happen in that at-bat did happen, and it's 5-0. Even 3-0. You
live with that.
You get out of the inning,
you live with that.
Here comes Carp. No big deal. That's not insurmountable. Even 5-0 isn't. But damn it, man, that was a high leverage moment that did not go our way.
No, and you give LSU a lot of credit because Poche gave him a great start, and he was very, very economical. This is a team that prides itself on working the count and getting walks, and they only had 2 walks. In that 8th inning, through 8 innings, the young man for LSU had only thrown 102 pitches. So he was able to come back out in the 9th because they scored a couple more runs. Had they not, I agree with you, he's not in the game in the 9th to give up the 2 homers. They only rolled him back out there because they were up 5, and they wanted to give him a magical moment, a chance to pitch a complete game in the College World Series. And he's not going to walk anybody, so he throws 2 fastballs down the heart, and they get deposited pretty quickly. I'm not going to lie, and I'll bring it up again later, but Neoporte's home run kind of angered me. Just like, thanks, Q. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for hitting the old nobody on, down by 5.
The A-Rod special.
Yeah, that's a toughie. But, I'm just being bitter. The NBA draft is tonight. Florida State's going to have 2 players in all likelihood go in the NBA draft. In fact, I'm going to take a look at former players, different drafts. Obviously, through the years, it's been slim pickings, but give Leonard Hamilton a lot of credit. He can recruit. You look at the number of kids that have been drafted in the first 2 rounds of the NBA draft, and you'll see that his time here has been pretty bountiful. Isaac figures to go top 10 tonight. We'll look at that in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs. and stop and smell the rosemary. It's easy when you fill your cart with 1 gallon Bonnie Veggies and Herbs. 3 for just $12, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 4th, Continental U.S. only. See store for details.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Kabbage is so important. Kabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Kabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at Kabbage.com/owner or 855-KABBAGE. That's Kabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
Sea Quarters Marina, located at 501 St. James Avenue in Carabel, Florida. Home of the famous Sea Quarters Kingfish Shootout and Youth Fishing Tournament held each year in July and August. Carabel River is Franklin County's only deep water port. It is a full-service marina with a ship store, which includes bait, tackle, rods, and reels. Get all your fishing needs at Sea Quarters Marina to bring in the big catch of the day. Visit them online at seaquartersmarina.com or call them at 850-697-8400.
The Furniture Bank of Tallahassee, a division of Echo, is the only local program that collects and distributes gently used furniture free of charge to Leon County residents in need. Our free furniture bank donates to eligible clients such as families recovering from fire or disaster, formerly homeless clients moving into their own homes, and veterans in a rehousing program. In 2016, we helped 138 families, including 33 vets, rebuild their lives. For more information or to have your furniture picked up, call 224-ECHO. Call 224-ECHO.
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jacks accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jacks catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jacks has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
Feeling seafood, but the usual spots aren't calling your name? The all-new Saltwater Seafood Company is the place to be. Happy hour is Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 p.m., featuring $3 drafts, $3 house wines, $3 wells, and half-off apps and oysters at the bar. Stop in for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 11 a.m. The all-new Saltwater Seafood Company, an original seafood and cocktail lounge, 1926 Capitol Circle Northeast. Call them at 329-2105 or head on over to saltwaterseafoodcompany.com to check out their brand new menu.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So Jonathan Isaac shall go in the top 10 tonight. Congratulations to that young man. Florida State fans will be excited to watch him go somewhere between, I don't know, I've seen as high as 3, as low as 10. I'm talking about the extremes. I think more likely he goes 4th, 5th, or 6th. If he goes 7th, he goes to Minnesota. Exciting young team. Pretty cool roster. If he goes 6th, he goes to Orlando. You can keep close tabs on him.
Something else to keep tabs on. Apparently, the Spurs are trying desperately to get a top 10 pick this year, and they're trying to dangle LaMarcus Aldridge as the piece to get it done.
You think they're a little disappointed in his disappearing act?
Could be. Could be a little bit disappointed, thinking that, hey, we got a guy who can step right in for Timmy Duncan. But,
no, we don't.
That guy is an all-time great, Tim Duncan, so it's going to be hard to do.
Dwayne Bacon, by the way, might also get drafted in the first round. That, to me, seems unlikely. If he did, it would be the very end of the first round. In all likelihood, it's somewhere in the second round. The second round is sort of a hodgepodge. You never know what you're going to get. It takes one team to kind of like you, but the money's not guaranteed there. So for Dwayne, if somebody took a flyer on him late in the first, that would be beneficial. And so we'll root for him to have that happen. You look at Florida State. If it were to happen that Jonathan Isaac and Dwayne Bacon, if it happened that those two were drafted in the first round. You have to go all the way back. It would make Isaac and Bacon the first pair of Noles selected in the first round since Doug Edwards and Sam Cassell. I remember that team very well. Doug Edwards went 15th overall, Cassell 24th. That was back in 93. Now, from there, you take a look at it, and you go all-time first-round selections for Florida State. Tony Douglas was the last of those in 2009. Can you believe that was 2009? Good Lord, man.
I can. I just can't believe how long ago it was. I took classes with Tony D.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. It's just that is now 8 years ago.
29th pick, Tony Douglas was to the Lakers at the time.
8 years ago,
that's
man.
Crazy. Yeah, I know.
That's hurtful.
Charlie Ward, try being me. Charlie Ward, of course, back in 94, which I remember well. Sam Cassell in 93. Mitchell Wiggins back in 83. I shouldn't have said that Tony Douglas was the last to go. I forgot. Malik Beasley went in 2016 with the 19th pick. That's correct. Chris Singleton also went. Yeah, I had a bass backwards. I was moving things around here in terms of order of selection within the first round.
Right, yeah. Closest to number one overall.
Yeah, right. Singleton went 17th overall. I forgot that. Boy, what a horrible selection that was for Washington. My God, did they waste their pick?
Not much to add to that.
Nope. Bob Sura went, of course, in 95. Doug Edwards, I just mentioned. Al Thornton went to the Clippers, and actually, early in his career, looked spectacular. Go watch the highlight videos of Al Thornton in the NBA just dunking on people before being out in L.A. hurt him. Well, that and the penchant for eating and drinking too much and having fun while in Los Angeles.
You're talking to Coach Trey Jones yesterday, and we played that interview about Brooks Koepka and how Brooks, when he left Florida State, he was a big man on campus here from a golf standpoint, and then he goes and he plays in the pros, and people turn heads right away, and they go, whoa, this guy's a little different. Same thing for Al Thornton. He got to the greatest collection of athletes in sports across the world, and even they, the elite of the elite, looked and said, what in the world is this dude capable of? He's different.
Yeah, Al should have had a very long career, but he got out there, and I think he would admit, had a little too much fun, indulged a little too much, and it kind of cost him, obviously, first of all, being in shape and getting the most out of your body. This is part of the responsibility of being a professional athlete. But what comes also with being a professional athlete is a lot of money. And all of a sudden you come into money, it makes it very easy to indulge and have a good time. And just like that, it can happen. And you see it a lot. And that's stuff that the NBA has to actually weigh. These franchises, these GMs and coaches have to weigh what a guy's made up of and what's he going to do with money.
But isn't that why we think Isaac has?
Oh, right,
yes,
yeah.
He has all the tools because he has all the will. He wants to be a great basketball player. He wants to get the most out of his body that he possibly can, and he wants to be a good teammate. I mean, that's what a killer 1-2-3 combo, because typically this is prima donna territory, top of the NBA draft board.
Well, yeah, you want to find guys that want to win, and that it not just losing bothers them, it pisses them off. Like they despise it. You want a really fierce competitor. And then you want a guy who wants to be great for the sake of being great and get the most out of his career, not just to make money.
Isaac was inconsolable because we lost the neutral site tournament earlier in the season in Brooklyn.
Yeah, on the inbounds pass.
It was in November. Yeah. It was Thanksgiving Day. He was that early in the season. He cared that much about winning and losing.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, he doesn't lack for any of those intangibles. He's got all of that stuff. By the way, George McLeod went in 89. I was in high school when that happened. And Dave Cowens, by the way, went, of course, in 1970, 4th overall.
You're in 6th grade. Starting to grow your first mustache.
Not when Dave Cowens. I wasn't born when Dave Cowens was drafted, Tom.
Okay.
No, I was not born yet. No. And then over the years, we've had a bunch of second-round guys. Solomon Alabi was actually selected in the NBA draft. Just makes me...
He left early. Remember that?
Yeah. One of my very favorite players of all time, Tim Pickett, went to New Orleans in the 44th pick back in 2004. Loved me some Tim Pickett. Alexander Johnson. He was a kind of a chubby, sort of do-nothing guy for a while, and then all of a sudden got his body right, decided to become a workout warrior, and then had that dominating season. He was what a year that was for Alexander Johnson in 2006. Von Wafer, good old Von Wafer. I still remember Ham sitting him against Duke or North Carolina. I think was it North Carolina on the road that he sat our best player, our only chance of winning, because he did something to get himself suspended.
Man.
You remember that?
think it was North Carolina.
I thought it was North Carolina,
you
too.
talking about a long time ago. Wow.
2005, yeah. James Collins back in the day in 97. Bernard James, who we love, went 33rd pick to Dallas. Harry Davis back in 1978 went 33rd. And so anyhow, I was just looking at this list. Ryan Reed went 57th.
It's the annual reminder that Leonard Hamilton.
Reed, Leonard Hamilton has put some people. If you look, okay, so you go all the way back. There's other top 40 picks that you can find. Dave Fedor, who's a Hall of Famer with the basketball program back in 62 and all of that. But in his 15 seasons, I'm talking about Leonard Hamilton now, in his 15 seasons at FSU, boy, we will keep a coach, won't we?
He's been here 15 years, huh?
15 seasons.
You think that bothers people around here at all?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit. In his 15 seasons at FSU, he has managed to bring in 10 of the 20 FSU players who were selected in the first 2 rounds of the NBA draft. So he's been fruitful, and he'll have 2 more added to that list tonight, obviously. Kennedy brought in 6 draftees, but 5 were first-rounders. So, anyhow, that's a look at FSU in a nutshell in the draft in anticipation for the NBA draft tonight. Jonathan Isaac figures to have his name called very early. I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't go to Phoenix 4th overall. I think a lot of people around here would like to see him go to Orlando so they get a chance to go watch him play and keep tabs on him. Frankly, I think the roster that's kind of fun is that Minnesota roster.
A little bit of breaking news for basketball just before we go to break. Coach K has passed Bob Knight as the all-time winningest coach in college basketball history.
How many people remember that joke and the fun we had? Do you think that when Coach K surpassed Bob Knight for the winningest coach in college basketball history, Rick Pitino reminded everybody that Coach K could do that because he didn't have somebody die close to him on 9/11?
I mean, when he won this game, he was in Madison Square Garden, which is, a place I frequented as a young man because the city of New York is very special to me. And I think you know that.
I always like the road we're going to go down to get to 9/11 with him. How does it start? What's the route taken? How can you tie something that has nothing to do? It's like Walter tying in Vietnam to everything. And then finally the dude getting angry and saying, it's got nothing to do with Vietnam, nothing at all. Well, not literally, but, no, nothing at all. That's Pitino around his friends. Like they're talking about where they should go eat breakfast tomorrow, and he's somehow well, at least we get to eat breakfast.
That's a great route. That was well done.
Yeah,
I was going to say, isn't it great that we have, freedom of choice in what we're going to eat in this great country? Many great cities in this country.
I'm going with at least we get to eat breakfast, and they all go, are you effing kidding me, Rick, with this?
You think Billy gets to eat breakfast today?
In fact, we'll eat breakfast at Billy Minotti Hall.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford. The place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
For just $12, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 4th, Continental U.S. only. See store for details.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Kabbage is so important. Kabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Kabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at Kabbage.com/owner or 855-KABBAGE. That's Kabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Ah, the perfect lunch spot. A nearly impossible find. Thankfully for Tallahassee, we have Metro Deli. A downtown gem for over 15 years, Metro Deli is locally owned and features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
Now that summer is here, beat the heat on the water. The Wilderness Way has daily or weekly rental of touring, recreational, and fishing kayaks. If you've been wanting to try kayak fishing, Real Fin Addict can put you on the water with all the equipment, including Hobie Mirage Drive kayak and guide to fish for trout, redfish, flounder, and tarpon. Wilderness Way, 3152 Shadeville Road, Crawfordville. Call them at 877-7200 and visit them online at wildernessway.net. Get out on the water.
Milwaukee brings on the power. New high-demand 9-amp-hour batteries to power those demanding cordless applications. Purchase a 9-amp-hour starter kit battery and charger and receive a cordless skill saw or Sawzall for only $249, a $490 value if purchased separately. Check out the e-rebate when you buy Milwaukee Sawzall blades and hole saws. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. Big store pricing with local service. 2 locations, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. How do I convey to you just how good the incentives and discounts are on America's fastest growing car company, Nissan? Seriously, please shop Kraft Nissan before you buy. No one has the incentives and low prices we have. Not Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Honda, or Hyundai. $5,800 in savings on Altima SR. Brand new automatic Frontier pickup starting at just $21,800. 0% interest for 72 months on our most popular models. Rebates up to $10,000 and no payments until football season. I'm telling you, in the over 30 years I've been in the car business, I've never seen such incentives and low prices. I've got pages and pages of special interest rates, rebates, and bonus cash. Kraft Nissan even has a factory rebate for any credit score under 625 to help you with your down payment. Here's the deal. Nissan is America's fastest growing car company, and they want to be number one, and they're buying market share. So please, before you buy, check out Kraft Nissan's exciting lineup of new vehicles. That's all I ask. Stop by Kraft Nissan and look. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Price includes dealer preparation charge.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shop's work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Lost his mind.
So you watch the draft, and then what tonight? You've probably given up on Mets baseball. The Knowles baseball season is over. You got a movie you got to catch up with?
Yeah, tonight is actually movie night. There you go. Good call.
You can't do this thing, man, where you have taco night and movie night.
No,
you can't
movie
do
night is not a weekly thing.
Okay,
man.
thank you.
No,
Thank you. I was gonna don't do that. Wait till you're married or something.
But taco night is a weekly occurrence.
Well, taco night should be every night.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
I mean,
delicious.
I know tacos have kind of begun to replace burgers, and that'd be a good thing because we have way too many burger joints, really probably in America in general, but especially here.
There's like an elite 2 or 3 in this town that, they're good. And then do you really need the other 17?
Well, there's more than 17. I mean, there's a burger joint every 5 feet if you're going to count like a Wendy's or something.
Sure. Yeah,
you know
but the
I mean?
elite 2 or 3 are the first 2 or 3 that want to, jump on board with the program.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Any of those, no matter who they are, including Wendy's. So what I was going to say was that I like a good taco far more than I like a burger. I mean, it's not even the same stratosphere. Like, I would never get a burger over a taco. Ever. And I like all kinds of tacos. Now, I don't need to say it again, but I don't get the pork or red meat tacos, but I'm a seafood guy, so I always get those.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there are like 10 good taco places in town. I'm very excited about it. Banditos, who advertises with us, does a very good taco. It's really good.
The thing I miss most about
being where we were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because you had the Tuesday tacos, they're $1 a piece.
But where I was going with all of this is that there are very few foods that I say to myself, I could eat that every single day and would probably look forward to it each time. There are a lot of foods that you go, I like that, but if I had that 3 or 4 days in a row, no. I bet you even people who love steak wouldn't really want to eat a steak 4 days in a row. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
No, like an actual steak. Like you might eat red meat 4 days in a row, but you're not going to eat a steak 4 days in a row, right?
I couldn't even. In my heyday, I didn't do that 4 days in a row. Red meat's a little much
I
sometimes.
bet people feel like they could probably eat pizza every day.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, you've got an issue, but I'm saying
I might be addicted.
People can eat pizza, probably one of those foods that you could eat every day. Ice cream? Could you eat ice cream every day?
Ugh, I wouldn't.
You don't like ice cream. What about frozen yogurt, Tom?
No, no, I don't. No, but you give me like a.
What about a popsicle?
Good
popsicle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably could have a popsicle, some treat of some kind every day. It wouldn't bother me.
Well, because they have the variety of the flavors.
Sure.
Popsicles
are good.
But I like the big 3. You get the ones with the grape and the orange and the cherry. That's all you
like
need,
those
really.
3? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love popsicles. Frozen treats are good, really, of any kind. Klondike bars are good.
Well, I like the frozen. They're basically popsicles, but they're the ones that are in the plastic baggies.
I love them.
Oh,
those are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
The orange sickles are good, too.
Yeah.
You ever had that?
It's because of the juices at the bottom at the end.
Yeah, good stuff.
Buddy.
I agree. But tacos are one of those foods. I was out in San Francisco where 538, the website, they had a contest for like a month or 2 months where they were trying to figure out the best taco place or burrito place in the United States. And the place that won was in the Mission District in San Francisco. And, of course, I had to go there. And I got to tell you, maybe my sights were set too high, but I've had better tacos right here. I mean, it was good. They were tasty, but I've had better tacos easily.
Are you flour or corn tortilla guy?
Flour.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't mess around with the corn.
It's
got no
all right
time for it.
It's a little weak, too. You have to double up on the tortilla.
Yeah, they fall to pieces.
Yeah, they're flimsy.
Oh, give me the flour.
Yeah.
I'm a flour guy through and through, but tacos are one of the ones. Every day. Could eat tacos every single day. I wish I did. It's not even that I could. I wish I ate tacos every day.
Okay.
I know they're not good for you.
So if it was to be an everyday thing, but, today is the day that you're going to have your favorite kind of taco, but you're constructing it, how would you construct it? What would you put in there? What kind of toppings?
What taco would
yeah, if you were building your ideal taco.
Well, I got to have a lot of spices. I like spices. So, jalapenos are going to the on there,
yeah.
red peppers, some onions, maybe. But probably the
sautéed or diced?
The sweet onions, the purple sweet ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Purple
I like those.
onions. Okay.
Either those or sautéed. I like sautéed too.
Yeah.
I prefer sautéed.
Yeah, me too.
And then maybe a red pepper. Throw a little red pepper on there. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where we're going to differ. So the gist of the taco for me is probably going to be shrimp.
Yeah.
If not shrimp, another kind of fish of some sort.
Mahi tacos?
Sure, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I like that. Any kind of fish, I like that. And then, people who put a little coleslaw on the taco, I'm all right with.
Oh.
Yeah, a little coleslaw. I'll throw
different.
that in there, buddy. I'll put some coleslaw on a taco.
That's a change up
It's
for
good.
that ass.
Yeah, it is. I can do that. And if we're getting really, then we start to bleed into whether or not that's a burrito, a quesadilla, because, I would also, I'm okay if we want to put, obviously there's got to be cheese. You don't like cheese, but I would have cheese on mine, and I would have some other things that would be in there.
If it was Sans cheese, too, you're kind of going in fajita territory, too,
right.
with all
See,
the peppers and onions.
So it gets tough,
Yeah. What
I
is
guess
it,
we have
really?
to properly define what a taco is. Maybe today's show.
Well, I mean, a taco night, I don't know that I'm eating a taco. Maybe I'm eating fajitas.
You could be eating a fajita or a burrito or a quesadilla.
Yeah, it's marinated, pork tenderloin.
You get the pork.
In a vinegary, spicy barbecue sauce.
I'm a big fan of vinegar.
Yeah.
I pour vinegar all over my subs to the point of wincing.
With sauteed onions that are also marinating in that vinegary barbecue sauce. I put some pico de gallo on there.
And sure. You can always throw pico de gallo on. Yeah.
Extra lettuce.
I take it to beer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jalapenos.
Yes.
You name it, man.
Lettuce, jalapenos. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds a little bit like a fajita.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what is the key to a quesadilla? Is it just that they're triangular?
I think the cheese factor, too.
Right.
Like a traditional fajita doesn't
I think
have
just
cheese.
a plain taco, our Twitter friends at Jay Cameron Show can let me know here. I bet you that a traditional taco is a lot less than what we're doing here. We've kind of expanded by adding all kinds of other things that might, I guess, negate its taco-ness. It might then be called something else.
Right. I mean, yeah, if you go to your local place and you get a chicken taco, it's on the menu of one of my favorite restaurants around here. I mean, it's chicken, lettuce, tomato, and shredded cheese, and there you go. There's your taco. Yeah, I think when you then I'll order the fajitas and they give me
In that case, I'm not a huge fan of tacos, I guess. I mean, that's just not going to get it done.
But when I get the fajitas, then you get the sizzling, steak meat or chicken, and then there's the peppers and the onions.
Here's the thing. I mean, let's admit it. Listen, fajitas, that's an American invention. That's a Tex-Mex thing. It's not really Mexican. It's not really, I don't think, even a taco. Obviously, it's not. It's a fajita, but it's not even. Yeah, we can't. It's
in a tortilla.
It's good. Basically, maybe what we're describing is that we like anything in a tortilla.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think you can throw a bunch of items in a tortilla, and we're agreeing that if it's spicy and we like the meat that's in there, for me it's fish, for you it's pork, whatever. Yeah.
We live in a country where we can, title our food whatever we want when it's in a tortilla.
Yes.
Billy can't say that anymore.
No, he can't say that at all. He's not living. I would tell you, though, that if you do know that you're dead, a lot of people think, man, I'll miss my relatives. It's true, but I'll be missing some tacos, too. Like I would think, damn, man, this dying's going to be tough, but I'm not going to be able to eat tacos. Goodness gracious. I hope the universe will provide me some tacos.
You just liken missing relatives and dear friends and family to
Well, no,
to
I said that would be first.
Yeah.
I said that'd be first. That'd be the first thing, right? Yeah, man, I'm going to miss Fred and Jerry and Lisa and my kids. And tacos. I'm going to really miss tacos.
Boy, this is an endorsement opportunity waiting to happen.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
We go out on a limb for you.
Give us a call at 894-TREE.
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jax accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jax catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jax has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
You can't get any fresher than your own vegetable garden. Right now at the Home Depot, 1-gallon Bonnie veggies and herbs are not only as fresh as you can get, but you can get 3 of them for only $12. That's not only thinking green, that's saving green. So, pass the salad and stop and smell the rosemary. It's easy when you fill your cart with 1-gallon Bonnie veggies and herbs. 3 for just $12, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 4th, Continental US only. See store for details.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Kabbage is so important. Kabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Kabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at Kabbage.com/owner or 855-KABBAGE. That's Kabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
The Furniture Bank of Tallahassee, a division of Echo, is the only local program that collects and distributes gently used furniture free of charge to Leon County residents in need. Our free furniture bank donates to eligible clients such as families recovering from fire or disaster, formerly homeless clients moving into their own homes, and veterans in a rehousing program. In 2016, we helped 138 families, including 33 vets, rebuild their lives. For more information or to have your furniture picked up, call 224-ECHO. Call 224-ECHO.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
That's not proper planning on the host's part. That's why we come back and have all of 2 minutes left in a segment.
It's the time it takes to enjoy a taco.
Who's your favorite FSU basketball player all time?
I grew up loving Charlie Ward, man. That's a tough one to overcome. But, you know, I have to say, just from all the behind-the-scenes stories the last couple of years, we produced a couple good ones. Malik Beasley, by all accounts, is a great ambassador of the university for a short time here. And Isaac is a really likable person, too. But, I mean, growing up, Charlie Ward, because I was a Knicks fan. That was one of my big teams. And obviously I love the Knowles football team, too.
Yeah, Tim Pickett for me is a big one. And then also Al Thornton. So I'm the draft coming in tonight, so Al Thornton is probably my guy.
Also from the beat days, Derwin Kitchen was really a pleasure to deal with. A
great story.
Yeah, a really good story.
Well, you also, we all loved, to some degree, certainly Isaiah Swan.
My man, Zeke.
Laid back, to say the least. Laid back.
Oh, man, behind the sound wall in the lecture hall. That's where he put his desk, and he just chilled there because he had to attend class. Outstanding.
And really didn't want to attend class. No. He was not there to attend class, my man.
I would do the old sign the attendance sheet and then slip out, and he'd look at me like, you son of a, you're so lucky.
Nicely done.
People check on me.
Yeah. By the way, I knew this would happen. We talked about it yesterday, and I won't rehash the story, but if you want to go read more, I knew that, and you did too. But it's out there today, ESPN.com, amongst other sites. The comments Devonta Freeman made about being MVP became a big topic because there is the debate about what they meant. Is it a message to the team? Did he slight his teammates? Is it against the coaching staff? You know, the frustration he feels. And you know, listen, it's the offseason. We're still 30-something days away from camp's opening. So when you say something that's even remotely, possibly controversial, it's going to get run up the flagpole. Because I don't believe this is all that controversial. He was asked a question, and we ask athletes all the time to be candid, and we hate it when they are coy and they hide behind language and they won't speak their mind. And then when they do, we do this. I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I think he probably would have been the MVP. And I think he was frustrated by the play calling. And obviously the team as a whole is going to have a real hard time living down 28-3.
I love that player if I'm a fan of the team because he's motivated to be the best he can be and he wants the opportunity. That's great. But the reason yesterday I said this isn't smart policy, you're in the middle of a negotiation and it's not going well. This doesn't help that. This doesn't help you get the extension that you want for the price that you want.
He did go on to say, and this wasn't in yesterday's story, I feel like you can't dwell on the things that have gone wrong. We're going to always look at that game and say, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. Next time, we'll just make sure we seize the moment. You know, actually, with that follow-up, kind of deadens the initial comments. Yeah. You know, it's like he's just talking out loud, thinking out loud about the regrets and the frustrations that obviously emit from that game still. It has to. How could it not? I think he's probably speaking in many ways for the rest of his teammates who will, I hate to inform Devonta and the rest of them, be thinking that way for the rest of their lives. You can't undo it. They could go on and win next year's Super Bowl, and that will still hurt. You can't undo 28-3 in the third quarter, man.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Bancorp Bank member FDIC, expiration applies. The Bancorp Bank is not affiliated with CFNA credit card offer. CFNA offer subject to credit approval.
You know why we love the country music community? Their passion for hometowns. Because at Country Inns and Suites, at home is how we want every guest to feel. That's why we offer complimentary comforts, such as hot breakfast every morning, a Wi-Fi connection, and coffee around the clock. Plus, our spacious rooms are the perfect place to relax and unwind. Our home is always open to you and your family. Book your next stay at countryinns.com.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
Ah, the perfect lunch spot. A nearly impossible find. Thankfully for Tallahassee, we have Metro Deli. A downtown gem for over 15 years, Metro Deli is locally owned and features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
Fire Betty's, the Fox and Stag, located in the Manor at Midtown in the heart of Midtown Tallahassee. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Fire Betty's features newly refurbished vintage arcade games, a brand new food menu, and a summertime-only happy hour from 5 to 9. Thursday is hospitality night, live music on Friday nights from 9 till 1, and video DJs on Saturdays on the outside TVs. The Fox and Stag, Tallahassee's best craft bartenders, mixing up cocktails sourced with local ingredients. Wednesday night is ladies' night with free champagne from 9 till 11. For catering and private parties, give them a call at 727-8284.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. It was one heck of a season for the Garnet and Gold, but it ended just a few games too soon. Florida State loses for the second time in Omaha. That means their trip to Nebraska and their season come to an end, and it comes at the hands of LSU for the second time in less than a week. The Tigers get the Noles 7-4 last night. LSU scoring 5 runs in the second. The Noles could never recover. They finished the season at 46-23. The NBA draft is tonight. We know who will be going number 1. Beyond that is still a mystery. But some teams like the Bulls, the Celtics, and even the Spurs are shopping some of their big names, hoping to potentially move up in this year's draft. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr is one happy man today, finally signing on a deal. 5 years, $125 million. He's now a $25 million a year quarterback for a guy that's only been in the league just a couple short years.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. If you do, all 3 hours going to be posted both on iTunes and our own audio vault. That's done every day upon the conclusion of the show, and it's brought to you with limited commercial interruption. Thanks to our good friends at Southland Commercial in Carlton Dean. CarltonDean.com to learn more. Ways to make money in commercial real estate. Email the show if you like. It's jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. And thanks for watching on YouTube. ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube. There you go. Oh, I see where Aaron Nola dealt today. 5-1, Phil's win. So that's the under and the wrong team won. That's a tough one.
Should have been Roark pitching.
Roark got knocked out in the 3rd inning.
Roark's been getting his
slit. He really has.
Yeah, he really has. Just so casual. They've had that conversation many times before. Know each other very well. Yeah, he really has. Play that again. Play it again.
Roark got knocked out in the 3rd inning.
Roark's been getting his
slit. He really has.
Starting the he really has, or really is. Oh, it has. It has. Before Keith even finishes, speaks to the quality of their relationship.
Roark got knocked out in the 3rd inning.
Roark's been getting his
slit. He really has.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Keith.
Roark's been.
Yeah, he barely even gets to it. He knows what's coming. Well, he has. He has. I know it all too well. Goodness gracious. Speaking of that very thing happened last night, unfortunately to us, as Cole Sands had that thing that's described there by Keith Hernandez happen, and at a most unfortunate time.
Lit in a different way than the kids might, categorize it these days.
No, just tattooed. His stuff was flat and up in the zone and ready to be pounced upon, and LSU obliged. And that, in a nutshell, is the story of last night's game. It's not, well, in this inning we had this opportunity or anything else, really. It's that your starting pitcher got beat up pretty good. And that makes it awfully hard to win a baseball game when you're down 5 runs before a blink of an eye. Very unfortunate. I do hate it for Cole Sands. But he's, that kind of was the story this year when we were looking at the negatives anyhow. And there were a lot of positives, and now would be the time to bring those up too. But he just really couldn't find that consistency that we were expecting to see from a kid who has good stuff. And, that came back to hurt him again last night, and it hurt him often this year, and it was sort of an enigma as to why that was happening. I guess you could say the ball's elevated and over the plate, but why that was continually a problem, I don't know. Mike Bell certainly, I'm sure, tried everything. He's a good pitching coach, and I do think very highly of him, and he was able to get some guys righted, especially late in the season. Even Cole to some extent in some moments, but not last night, obviously.
No, and it happened quickly because he retired the side 1, 2, 3 in the first, and you thought, oh, okay, all right. This trend of how we've suddenly been reborn as a pitching staff from where we were in early May, it's going to continue, and then it was not to be, and those 5 runs came in a heartbeat with Carp warming, and unfortunately, a little too late given what LSU was doing on the mound, but Carp did give us a chance, and you just couldn't swing momentum. You got one with the Mendoza home run, and then there's the Quincy fly ball to left. That off the bat I thought was gone.
Well, if he gets that out, if that's out of the park, you got a game, and maybe it ends up differently. But when that ball was caught there by the warning track, I thought, well, it's probably not going to happen now.
No, you needed to get it to 5-3, 5-4 in the latter innings, and then let nerves take hold and see who's the steadier team.
I was proud of the ABs in the 9th. I'm not talking about the 2 home runs. I mean, those are kind of gift-wrapped because they have a 5-run lead. They send Poche back out there, and he's grooving balls, and those 2 get hit out of the park. But I thought the at-bats against Tess, who has electrifying stuff, were very good. It's tough stuff. You get yourself in a position, who knows. I'm not saying Florida State comes back and wins the game, and I don't want to overly harp on how atrocious the called third strike was. But it was, and it is unfortunate because Holton put up a fight there. That's a good AB against a kid who's got electric stuff, and his demeanor leaves a little bit to be desired, and he's not going to be real easy to root for. But why is that kid in college? I'm not saying that regrettably. I'm not saying that like I'm angry. But how does a guy throw 98 with sink get to college?
And he has that kind of breaking stuff, too.
What do you do? Why are you pitching in college, son? You should be a multi-millionaire. What are we doing here? It makes you angry a little bit. It frustrates you. And I don't mean it in the sense that they don't have a right to go to college and the kid can't do what he wants. No, I'm just saying you just don't expect that to be what you're facing. I mean, it's impressive. I wish we could get a kid like that to come here. I'm not saying it's easy either. That's not even a shot at our recruiting. It's just those kinds of kids that have that kind of stuff, they don't usually say yes to college.
No, they're in double-A ball right now.
And they're rich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, their signing bonus is massive. The frustrating part is, too, that called third strike, you're now a pitch away if it's called properly a ball.
Yeah, you're a pitch away from the tying run coming to the plate.
Yeah.
Well, then you just got to run into one. And the kid provides enough speed, you could run into one.
Sure.
You sit dead red, swing out of your shoes, maybe you get lucky.
Or maybe he starts to lose composure, and then the next thing you know, Busby's up. And we know that dude's not afraid of a fastball.
No. Well, and I doubt he would have seen one because they know it too. But yes, and you were robbed of, that's the one part about the call that is frustrating, is that you were robbed of the opportunity to see what happens. Is it unlikely? Sure. It's very unlikely. And you're right to note that, frankly, we never get into a situation where that can happen. If LSU doesn't score a couple of runs prior to put themselves up 5, we see has to start the 9th, and you don't get back-to-back home runs. in all likelihood.
Yeah.
So, a lot of this came about because of the situation. But the situation was the situation. And you do get screwed on a call at the end. That's not the reason you lost. It's not what you're going to remember about the season, good or bad. But it is unfortunate. I mean, I hate it for college baseball, and I hate it for Holton and for us in that situation. And there's a part of me that would be kind of pissed as an LSU fan. Like, oh, man, I don't need them thinking that they got screwed. That's as bad a call as you'll see.
Well,
it's not even close.
There are 2 atrocious calls on the base paths earlier in the night.
They got to do a better job of expanding replay. That's not going to take up a lot of time. That replay at second base where he's safe sliding in, that would have taken 20 seconds. I mean, they could have looked at that and gone, whoa, he blew this easily.
Well, I was watching the conversation from the guys who were up in Omaha and people who aren't FSU fans but cover the game, and, they were remarking, it is kind of awkward and odd that you can review a scoring play, and they did take a look at the tag or no tag at the plate.
By the way, a good throw at the plate gets him too, and
details, they matter. But you can look at safer out at home because it's a scoring play, but you can't look at the other 3 bases. That just kind of seems like a weird place to stop.
I agree. I'm
safe out is safe out,
right? And I'm not for extensive replay in the college game. Really, just in general, I don't think we need to review everything. It gets bogged down a little bit sometimes in Major League Baseball. Obviously, I want a fair, foul, home run, non-home run, those kinds of things, sure. And I can do first base a little bit better, a little bit easier than I can second base. I hate the bang-bang where they watch a replay and a guy's holding a glove on a guy who's safe and he slides across the bag, and there's a millisecond where just the physics of the play lifts his body slightly ajar from the base in the air and then comes back down on it, but it never really leaves the bag, and the naked eye could never detect that. But now that we have replay, we're going to call that guy out because of the fraction of a second that maybe he was – I don't like that. I wish we wouldn't do that, but we do that. But, yeah, safe out.
I just can't stand that red-ass umpire at first base last night who asked for the ball after every time there was a put-out over at first and at the end of the innings. And he was one of those guys who wanted to be seen, clearly. And then what he did on the double play call, you're rewarding a nice-looking play, and I hate that. That happens at the major league level, too.
It does.
Just because somebody makes a great stop in the hole and then they fire across from short, it doesn't mean, and the catcher's running, doesn't mean that the catcher's out.
No.
He's either safe or he's out, man. You can't let that moment influence you, and I thought that happened twice to us last night in the base pass. It certainly did from a verdict standpoint, but I think that's the reasoning why. The umpires are trying to reward a good-looking play, but I'm sorry if it's a good-looking play and it's not in time. We're safe, and those are 2 precious outs.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean we would have come back and won. It doesn't undo the poor start that they got from Cole. It doesn't do any of those things, and we're not saying that.
No.
It just adds to a level of frustration. But in truth, and again, I think we'll, as we'd start each hour kind of, reliving the moment from a night ago, from last night, and also the season, we can't help but touch on some of these aspects. Really, if you're dwelling on the things that frustrate you about the timeout in Omaha, well, really, you just start and stop one game. It's the first game. It's the loss against LSU that you controlled. It's the one that you had in your back pocket. It's the 3-air play. I mean, maybe it's the guy scoring from first on a pass on a wild pitch, but it's really the 3-air play. That's the hard part. That's the one that sticks with you. It's the one that sent you into the losers bracket, which is awfully difficult to come out of. LSU is also trying to fight out of that same bracket. If you lose one of the first 2 games, it is very, very – it's not impossible, but it is very, very difficult to climb out of that hole. And, if you want any chance of winning the College World Series, or if you want a much better chance of winning the College World Series, you got to do a couple things. First off, you got to get there more often, more frequently, and it's good that we got back. That's the success of this season. Let's hope it's a jumping-off place for a few visits here in the next few years, right? If you go 2 times in the next 3 years, give yourself another chance. Let's elevate the number of opportunities. And then you got to win Game 1. 7 of the last 8 times that Florida State's gone to the College World Series, they've lost Game 1. You got to give yourself a fighting chance by staying out of that loser's bracket.
We found a way in this year's version, and I timed it out because we were looking at how long the sequence was just for the hell of it, and that's 10 seconds of disaster from the time it hits, goes under Wells' glove to the time that Raleigh drops the ball at home plate. That's 10 seconds and 3 errors within those 10 seconds that cost you,
an opportunity.
Right. Oregon State could have lit up Parrish for all we know. But, I'd like to know what would have happened rather than having to climb out of the hole that we did.
Yeah, that's the tough part. So that loss is the one that lingers. I think by and large, if you remove the weight of history, meaning that Florida State's never won, and that statistic will come up about how many times they've gone to Omaha, you can't avoid it. You won't avoid it until you finally win one. That's just the way of the world. I think everybody gets that. But I think if you just look at this season, you would say, what a turnaround. What a great way to salvage what was a pretty empty vessel there for a while. I mean, we're looking at this season as just a lost cause. And at 21-15, you're on the cusp of seeing some pretty historic lows for Florida State. You could have ended your season in the way that Miami did, which is not making a postseason appearance and obviously seeing another one of your sports become irrelevant. And that's not what Florida State did. They turned it around. They won the conference title. They went on the road, a classic epic run by beating Louisville 3 different times, twice in a series, once in the ACC tournament. You win the ACC championship. You bring back the hardware. Then you win a regional and a super regional at home, and you come out of the loser's bracket to do that. Your back's against the wall, and you find a way to fight through. And really, you talk about exalting, thrilling fashion. I mean, you're down to your last strike, and you hit a ball off the center field wall to stay alive. So you get out to Omaha, and you lose in heartbreaking fashion. But what do? Well, you do a lot of what you did at the end of the year to salvage something good from a season that for a good portion of it looked lost. You win. You come back and you eliminate Cal State Fullerton, and you give yourself a chance to play in last night's game. So, again, by and large, I look at those kids who fought, and the coaching staff who helped them get it turned around and say, congratulations, good season. Frustrating elements that happened out in Omaha, but congratulations, good season. Jeff Cameron, Show 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew. Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Refreshment Services Pepsi announces that Kiana Redding has been chosen Employee of the Month. An accounts receivable specialist, Kiana's determination, dedication to her work, and outstanding performance reflect the true spirit of Pepsi. Congratulations, Kiana.
TNT Hideaway has been renting canoes and kayaks on the Wakulla River for over 40 years. In addition to kayaks and canoes, they also offer stand-up paddleboards that you can rent for your paddling pleasure to view the wildlife on the river, which includes manatees, otters, turtles, and herons. TNT Hideaway also offers kayak fishing tours, paddling on the Wassissa and St. Marks rivers, as well as coastal paddles. TNT Hideaway, 6527 Coastal Highway, Crawfordville, 925-6412, or visit them online at tnthideaway.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. How do I convey to you just how good the incentives and discounts are on America's fastest growing car company, Nissan? Seriously, please shop Kraft Nissan before you buy. No one has the incentives and low prices we have. Not Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Honda, or Hyundai. $5,800 in savings on Altima SR. Brand new automatic Frontier pickup starting at just $21,800. 0% interest for 72 months on our most popular models. Rebates up to $10,000 and no payments until football season. I'm telling you, in the over 30 years I've been in the car business, I've never seen such incentives and low prices. I've got pages and pages of special interest rates, rebates, and bonus cash. Kraft Nissan even has a factory rebate for any credit score under 625 to help you with your down payment. Here's the deal. Nissan is America's fastest growing car company, and they want to be number one, and they're buying market share. So please, before you buy, check out Kraft Nissan's exciting lineup of new vehicles. That's all I ask. Stop by Kraft Nissan and look. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Price includes dealer preparation charge.
You can't get any fresher than your own vegetable garden. Right now at the Home Depot, 1 gallon Bonnie veggies and herbs are not only as fresh as you can get, but you can get 3 of them for only $12. That's not only thinking green, that's saving green. So, pass the salad and stop and smell the rosemary. It's easy when you fill your cart with 1 gallon Bonnie veggies and herbs. 3 for just $12, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 4th, Continental U.S. only. See store for details.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Kabbage is so important. Kabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Kabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at Kabbage.com/owner or 855-KABBAGE. That's Kabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. An eccentric millionaire who claims to have hidden gold in gems in the mountains of northern New Mexico is considering calling off the treasure hunt because somebody has died looking for the bounty. Don't you love eccentric rich people who just decide to do funny things to laugh at others? I don't know if that's why he did it. Antiques dealer Forrest Finn, whose treasure hunt has drawn thousands to the Rocky Mountains north of Santa Fe, said that the death of Paris Wallace makes me think of The Wire. Paris Wallace, a Colorado pastor, has compelled him to re-examine the popular search. I didn't even know this was a thing.
That's funny. My head first went to, Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah, fair enough. I am thinking about several options, including stopping the search. I have consulted several friends who are helping me decide. Okay. I don't know that you need consultation for that. Sometime in mid-June, Mr. Wallace set out from his home in Grand Junction, Colorado, headed for New Mexico, hoping, like so many others before him, to find the chest of gold that Mr. Finn has supposedly hidden there. Now, it's really going to be funny if he hasn't. Oh, by all means, please search the mountains. On Sunday, 2 rafters discovered what police believe was the body of Mr. Wallace, 52 years old, floating in the Rio Grande River. In recent days, New Mexico State Police Chief Pete Caceres has called for Mr. Finn to end the quest, saying it's gotten too dangerous. I guarantee you that if this continues, there'll be more people lost, more searches launched, and more people dying. The question I have for Mr. Finn is, what can we do to avoid it? Is there a better way to get people up off their couch and to explore New Mexico than doing it this way? Mr. Finn, 86, lives in Santa Fe. Says he respects the chief, but you know what's coming next, right? Whenever I start with, well, I respect, it's going to be followed with, you can go to hell? I mean, you wouldn't say it if you were, yeah, I agree, let's call it off. It would never come up, right?
You go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
Oh, man. For 7 years now, droves of people have journeyed to the area looking for Mr. Finn's treasure. That's the name of my next album. Some occasionally have become lost on their quest, although authorities said they didn't know the precise number. Can't find him. How you to know? One man stalked Mr. Finn's daughter, believing she was the treasure Mr. Finn was speaking of. Yes! So that guy's predisposed to think about molesting children immediately, right? He's like, oh, yeah, no, I know what you mean. Treasure, right. Mr. Finn, a former Vietnam War fighter pilot, included a poem in his self-published memoir, The Thrill of the Chase.
Way to go with memoir.
You like that? With 9 clues supposedly scattered within the stanzas, along with a map that promised to lead people to the buried treasure. Begin it where warm waters halt. Take it to the canyon down. Not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. Mr. Finn says he has indeed hidden a bronze chest filled with 20 pounds of gold, valuable prehistoric bracelets, necklaces, and gems. Some treasure hunters have estimated the bounty's worth between $1 and $2 million. Mr. Finn says it's impossible to really put a value on the treasure because the price of gold is ever changing. As Mr. Finn has dangled additional clues over the years, the hunt has lured people to New Mexico from all over the world. Upward of 100,000 people over the past 7 years, according to Del Natzel, a Washington man who has devoted a blog to the hunt.
Yeah, it's a guy named Del who has a blog.
Mm-hmm.
And wait a minute.
Dedicated to this hunt.
Radio spots and TV spots alike, I thought the price of gold has never been higher, buddy.
Never been higher.
Isn't that true?
An annual gathering called Finbaree has even sprung up in New Mexico, where treasure hunters and their families camp out and swap tales of their efforts to unravel Mr. Finn's great mystery. I just picture Mr. Finn in the back, smoking weed, going, ha, 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 laughing. This is awesome. But the riddle has never been solved, and some have questioned whether or not there's really any buried treasure at all. Chief Cassettis, by the way, this is the same Chief Cassettis who's saying, please, no mas. We're losing people left and right on this search for the booty, has said that if the bounty does indeed exist, then Mr. Finn should pull it from the ground. The latest search had forced volunteer rescue workers to operate in very dangerous terrain as they scoured for signs of Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace's wife, this is great. Now I'm with you.
Yeah, Mia Wallace.
Yeah. Mitzi initially contacted police on June 14th, the day he was supposed to return home, saying that she had just last heard from him the day before. Mr. Wallace told his wife that he was off to search for the treasure. You got a question, what's going on here? Like the day that my wife rolls in, or vice versa, you roll in and to your girlfriend in this case, and say, listen, I'm going to take it up to Santa Fe and look for a treasure this old man allegedly buried. I've got a map and everything.
See? It's right here, Mitzi.
Well, we need to bring the family together and let's have a little talk about what we're doing here.
But I can do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Wallace, he was eventually found floating, as I mentioned at the top of the story. During their search for him, police discovered in his motel room the laptop with the mapping coordinates, which in turn led them to his vehicle, where they found climbing ropes fastened to a large rock. Miss Wallace told the AP that she would carry on her husband's search for the treasure with her son, because they're losers. Oh, that's rich.
Boy, if there was any sports tie, Ronaldo would be writing about it, doing a video piece.
Mr. Finn has called Mr. Wallace's death a terrible tragedy, saying it's affected him in a profound way. My prayers go out to the pastor's wife, he said.
Hope she can find my treasure.
Well done, Mr. Finn. Mr. Wallace isn't the only person to perish in the search for treasure. Last summer, following an extensive search, the body of 54-year-old Randy Ballou was discovered along the Rio Grande River not far from Santa Fe. Mr. Ballou, who had moved to Colorado from Florida to look for the treasure, and it's not Rick, had gone missing about 7 months earlier after setting out with a raft and a dog. Well planned. Mr. Finn said he'd chartered a helicopter at one point in the hopes of finding the missing man. Mr. Ballou's ex-wife, Linda, has since spoken out against the hunt, writing an open letter to Mr. Finn in which she blamed him for using clues to manipulate treasure seekers everywhere. Miss Ballou called on Mr. Finn to come forward and admit the treasure is nothing more than a hoax, saying that she believes more will get hurt or die if this continues. I think Mr. Finn has dug himself into a big hole here, and he does not know how to get out of it, says Miss Ballou. Mr. Netzel, the blogger, said criticism of Mr. Finn is unfair. The people are responsible for their own actions. When they decide to head out into the wilderness, that's on them. He himself claims to have searched in vain for the treasure for the last 65 months.
A wise counterpoint, Del.
He's the blogger. What kid hasn't pretended he was on a boat waving a stick and then pretending it was a sword, pretending to look for lost treasure? So why not do it for real? Forrest was kind and generous enough to put this thing out there for us.
I think Mr. Finn is killing these people. That's what I think.
If he chartered them.
Well, he chartered a helicopter to find this guy. So who's to say that he didn't find him?
There was really no reason for me to read that other than I enjoyed it. I like stories like that. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic, backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
You at AutoSuperServiceCenter.com and call for an appointment. $49.99 air conditioner service special is a limited time offer, so call today.
Ah, the perfect lunch spot. A nearly impossible find. Thankfully for Tallahassee, we have Metro Deli. A downtown gem for over 15 years, Metro Deli is locally owned and features the best deli meats, cheeses, breads, and ingredients in the city. Enjoy daily specials and soups, salads and wraps. There's something for everyone. Metro Deli offers online ordering for pickup or delivery and will cater your office breakfast or lunch too. Tallahassee's perfect lunch spot is Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com. That's MetroDeliTally.com.
If you haven't stopped into Tallahassee's favorite hangout, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill on North Monroe Street, you're missing out.
Hey, it's me, Courtney. Hey, it's me, Marissa.
Last but not least, I'm Kim, and we're the girls from the Fourth Quarter.
Okay, girls, there are lots of great nights to stop in at the Fourth Quarter, including Monday, where it's happy hour all day, including 2-for-1 Wells. There's Tuesday night trivia with Professor Jimmy, where you can win money. What other night should we stop by the Fourth Quarter?
It's Kim again. Join me Saturday and Sunday mornings for Bubbles and Brunch from 7 to 2. $18.99, all you can drink mimosas and Bloody Marys, and it includes breakfast.
Hey, Riss here. Come join me for lunch. We have over 20 lunch specials for just $7.50, and that includes a drink.
I'm Courtney. Visit me on Monday nights when we have 2-for-1 Wells, calls, and domestic drafts all night.
Don't miss out on the girls of the Fourth Quarter. Pick your favorite night and stop in. Say hi to the girls at 2033 North Monroe Street, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill, Tallahassee's favorite hangout.
Out on the golf course, there are the obvious hazards. There's the pond, the bunker, the rough, the even rougher.
Yeah, put me down for an 8.
The giant maples. The row of houses out of bounds on the right. The angry flock of geese who've surrounded your ball. Even the occasional groundskeeper you had no clue was there. But if you think you found every possible hazard out there, think again. The hazard you missed could actually be a killer. It's the spot on your skin, the one that could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 888-789-5042. 888-789-5042, 888-789-5042, 888-789-5042.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he wants it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Man, you can't help but be excited for Jonathan Isaac tonight. I just saw the picture you tweeted. The NBA, he's on the bus ride over to the draft. A likable kid, man. Just a genuine smile and joy you could see in his face there.
And even when he announced that, he wasn't going to be returning to Florida State, which we all knew, he did so in a classy way, sitting there with his mom, and, he just says thank you, and He worked his ass off for us. This wasn't a stop along the way. He wanted to get better while he was here. So, absolutely, and all the success in the world to him.
Yeah, I'll repeat the story I told when he was first here. I guess I talked with Chuck Walsh over there, and he had mentioned to me that he's like, man, you're going to like this kid. And I said, well, yeah, I know he's really talented. He goes, no. He came back early to do more in the gym on his own. They're not required to come back until whatever time it was. And he's like, but he's here weeks in advance because he wants to get better. and that he's looking at this like a pro looks at it, and that he works every day to obviously improve his game, but also make the team better. So he really did look at it not as a pit stop on his way to making millions of dollars, but as a place to get better, to work hard, and to give of his time and his effort, and that's the way you'd want it. And certainly, you'd say some people would say, "Well, of course," but it's not the way it works when you're a kid who has been identified at an early age as having unique talent and well on your way to making millions, but you're required to, if you're not going to declare out of high school.
You see it in football recruiting because there's so many more in every class. But there's a good portion of kids who have never been told no in their life because they're really, really good at what they do.
Sure.
And so it's hard for them, when they get to a level where they finally run into, stiff competition. And he's not wired that way. He tells himself no and to be disciplined. And I can remember, it's a short stint here, of course, but we were talking about him, and he reached a hard place, a hard moment towards the end of our non-conference season. He plays Florida, and he realizes, oh, okay. So as we get into ACC play here, this is a little bit different. Like, these kids can stop the things that I've done my entire life that work, so I need to become a more versatile weapon. And his scoring ability wasn't as consistent as the effort level and the ability to fill up the stat sheet in other ways. Mm-hmm. But if the shot ever comes, and that's what they're going to work on at the next level, but if the shot ever comes and he develops consistency from range, man, that body type is just, it's so money for this day and age.
You know who's, by the way, I'm thinking about ACC players, and a lot of them getting drafted, obviously Tatum and other guys. Luke Kennard at the next level. Led the ACC in scoring, obviously. And you look at him and you realize he can score. I mean, he's a natural scorer. He's a goofy kid, but he's going to score, I think, always. I don't know who he defends in the NBA. Probably nobody. But he's a top 15 pick.
He's tough, too.
The weirdness about a kid like that, seeing him close, it was a good write-up I read not long ago about, there's an example of a guy who did more for his draft stock by coming back. You go into the 2016-2017 season, and he's just a role player, really, that might get draft consideration. And then he leads the ACC in scoring during the regular season, and people begin to see that he can score with both hands. He can really shoot it. He can create. He does a lot of things close to the rim well. He does things, and again, he's only 6'6", 200 pounds, but
much was made about Grayson Allen, obviously, as we were heading into ACC play, and then Duke comes into town, and that's one of the stiff tests that we faced as we faced 5 top 25 opponents in a row. But we watched that game together. We were sitting next to each other. Within, 10, 12 minutes of watching the game, you say, well, okay, forget Allen. That kid Kennard, that's their best player. We need to find a way to contain that dude.
Well, he made me angry because it doesn't look pretty. It's not smooth. It's not silky. But it's so effective. And you give him a little bit of space, and he's going to score.
Right.
He's going to score, yeah.
He can knife through the tough areas and finish around the rim, and then he can hit from range. Yeah, I don't know what that does in the immediate for his NBA abilities, but certainly as a college player.
Well, you got to be able to score. You got to be able to create your own. And he can do that.
Well, he can do that, and he's tough enough. Guys will bounce off of him, too. He's got a little bit of what for to him when he goes down into the paint. It just may take a couple of years for him to put on a couple more pounds.
Well, yeah, and I look at him, and the reason I do that is, we watch a lot of ACC basketball, and you see John Collins at Wake Forest, and obviously we get to see Jonathan Isaac. Dennis Smith is going to get drafted tonight in the top 10 from NC State. Yeah, and we know what he is.
That translates.
Jason Tatum is a top 5 pick. In all likelihood. So it's kind of fun just to compare and contrast what we saw on a regular basis. Justin Jackson, North Carolina, right? I mean, you look at these guys, you kind of wonder what they are. And what category do you put them in? I mean, Dwayne Bacon is going to go in the second round. I feel like he could have come back. Probably would have helped him to come back. I don't think he's ready. I'm worried Dwayne's going to fall somewhere into the late 40s, early 50s. Here, but then again, he may have said, with my skill set, what I bring to the table, I'm never going to be a player who moves into the middle portion of the first round or anything like that. I've got to go and get started.
Forgive me, this is going to sound like a novice opinion here, but come back, rebounding is not about skill. He could fill up and be a double machine with that body type if he came back for one more season.
Well, you'd have to care to play defense, first of all, and you'd have to care.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
I don't think he did. I like Dwayne Bacon. I don't have a problem with him. I don't think he was a bad guy or anything like that. But I didn't always love his attitude. I didn't always love his attitude on the court. And I don't think he did a lot to help himself this past year. But again, this is a novice opinion. I'm not a scout. I don't know. Maybe they see something I don't. I don't like his shot, first of all. So I don't think he's a good shooter. And he's going to get drafted because of body type. Well, great. But, he's 6'6". A lot of 6'6" guys, quicker, faster, better shooters, better rebounders, better defenders. Well, lots of them.
And again, it's not just about, body type and size and potential for Isaac. It's just from an effort standpoint. That's a complete player.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a lot stronger before he impacts the game at the NBA level, I think. But I understand what you're saying. His effort is never going to come into question. His willingness to do the things that are going to make him stronger, make him better, that's all going to be there.
There was no benefit to coming back for Isaac.
No. If you're a top 10 pick, you got to go.
But I'm just saying there's nothing he could have worked on. You might as well work with professionals now at this point.
Get your millions and move on.
You've got the will. You've got the will to do everything. So there's nothing that he needed to prove.
Whose long-term future do you like more out of these players? Jonathan Isaac, Dennis Smith, Luke Kennard, Justin Jackson.
I like Smith's future because if you can light it up and score 25, 30 a night, you're going to have a long career, and he has a knack for filling it up.
Yeah, he's a point guard.
But he's not afraid to create his own, and he can score in bunches. So I think that's going to translate.
Do you like him more than you like Malik Monk?
That's a great question. And if I was still a diehard Knicks fan, I'd be really, thinking long and hard about it because Monk can go nuts at a moment's notice too. Mm-hmm. Smith brings more to the table, I think, but Monk brings more wow factor moments. I think they're both decent picks, especially if you're, way back in the lottery section of the draft. If you get either one of those two, consider it a success. I just think the potential, here we go with the ceiling is the roof kind of thing, the big joke. The ceiling for Isaac is crazy.
Well, if he gets really strong and develops a consistent shot, he can defend three positions. Sure. I mean, it's a fun, I love him. I'm rooting for him. I hope he goes to the right place. Look, if you're going to tune into that tonight, you're going to do so by looking at Phoenix, Sacramento, Orlando, or Minnesota. There's a stretch. Boston at 3. That's not going to happen, I don't think. Josh Jackson out of Kansas is my guy, but, he's had some situations. He's really emotional, and people worry about him because his attitude on the court sometimes crosses the line. He had an off-the-court issue as well, but he's a talent, man. He is. I'm also curious, for as little as we talk about the NBA during the season, the process is always fun to it's really hit and miss in the NBA. It's hard to get it right. You're always looking for these transcendent guys, especially when you're trying to draft, in the top 5 there. Lonzo Ball better be Jason Kidd because he's not a great athlete, and that shot is funky. How's he going to get that shot off?
For me,
in the league, he better see the floor. When I say Jason Kidd, he better see. He's the best passer coming out. I get that. He better be that because I don't think the scoring aspect of his game, and certainly he's not a great athlete.
A prediction sure to be wrong in 10 years. Give me Dennis Smith all day.
Over Lonzo Ball?
Oh yeah,
me too.
Save that tape for when.
Unless Lonzo Ball's court vision and passing skills are what so many. I mean, that's what his draft stock is. It's not, people aren't looking at him saying, oh, he's going to come in and light it up as a scorer. No, it's about him, the distributor.
But it's hard. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to know. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, right? He's the second best player on the planet. I think he is because he plays such great defense. And then, Steph Curry. Opinions were split on that, but there were plenty in our camp saying, look at that little run. You're going to get shoved around.
Well, I didn't know also that we were going to play an entirely different kind of basketball these days, that we were just not going to be allowed to touch anybody in any way. I can't put my hands on you. I can't bump you. I can't redirect you. I can't do anything. I'm saying, if we're going to do this, then sure. There are a lot of guys who I would say can't translate because they're wafer thin and they're going to get beat by the men in the NBA. But if everything's a foul now, especially out on the perimeter.
Has there been a better use for that yet?
No. Well, maybe a couple, but yeah. I'm torn. I don't know that I want Jonathan Isaac to go to Orlando. It would give me the opportunity to watch him on a pretty regular basis.
I don't know what they're doing down there, do
No, I don't feel like they do. And I don't want him to go and get lost. But then again, if you don't go to one of the 2 or 3 franchises to seem to have a clue, then you can say that about almost anybody.
Who's next? I mean, let's say the 3 franchises that have a clue or have the players that, supersede whether or not they have a clue and can overcome it. So it's Cleveland, it's San Antonio, it's Golden State. Who's next? Is it Boston?
Boston's got a clue. Danny Ainge knows what he's doing. They're building something. Yeah, Minnesota might have a clue.
Maybe.
They might.
They've got players.
They've got some players. They might have a clue.
You want them to go to Minnesota. You really do. You keep coming back to the T-Wolves.
Well, but if one of the things I read earlier today is that if they don't go, if Minnesota doesn't go, Isaac, if Smith's on the board, Dennis Smith, the aforementioned, is on the board, they're going him. That's a good pickup for them too.
You can see why the Spurs are trying to get into this top 10. There's a lot of good talent there. Good commodities that we've seen. That's one thing when we were breaking it down.
Tatum, Jackson, Isaac, Smith.
They're not a ton of mystery guys from a
Malik
different
Monk.
continent. There's a lot of college one-and-done talent this year.
We'll have Millar on next hour to do our little Can You Guess the Country of Origin segment that we do every year at draft time.
Favorite bit. I love the hell out of that bit.
There's not enough of those guys this year. I think we have like 7 or 6. I printed out the list. I've never heard of any of them, of course. Oh, listen, if you're playing your ball in Latvia, I'm not watching you. I don't know. I'm not saying you can't play. I just don't know of you. So I'm waiting. I wonder. We'll see who he gets. If he gets any of these right. I've got the list. I've got it in my hands, and I'm waiting to see. I don't know. This is a weird draft, though, because when I went back through and looked at, you refamiliarize yourself with a lot of these guys that you saw during the year, in the ACC. And obviously, we all watched the NCAA tournament, and there are guys that rose to prominence there as well. For example, Zach Collins, the center at Gonzaga. You know him because of the tournament. So,
yeah.
You go through.
Rough finish, yeah.
You go through and you look at guys like that, and you're like, okay, well, I remember him, and I know who De'Aaron Fox, De'Aaron Fox is, or whatever his name is, from Kentucky.
Sure. The funny thing is, I remember obviously who Monk is, and that's the guy I really like in the draft too. But we shut down Dennis Smith here in Tallahassee, and yet that even though he had a bad night here,
he's good,
and we had his number.
He's good.
Oh boy, that is going to translate to the next level.
And then I get intrigued by these players that are late first-rounders that we watched in this conference quite a bit too, and or learned about because of the NCAA tournament. I think of a guy like, the NCAA tournament, for example, Oregon's run, and those players, Jordan Bell and guys,
Well, think about it too. What we're saying is that we really enjoyed the product of college basketball more this year.
Yeah,
so now we care more about the draft because we've seen these guys.
I'd like to care a lot more. I've said this before. I'm honest with people that I'm not watching a ton of the regular season because it's a foregone conclusion right now. I'd like to care a lot more about the regular season of the NBA. It would give us more to talk about if we were invested, and if more people were, that'd be great. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it starts with great seasons like the one we had last year in college basketball, and it continues when we bring in people at Florida State like Jonathan Isaac, Dwayne Bacon, Malik Beasley. He's on a hell of a roll right now. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from LoCash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Company, Nissan. Seriously, please shop Kraft Nissan before you buy. No one has the incentives and low prices we have. Not Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Honda, or Hyundai. $5,800 in savings on Altima SR. Brand new automatic Frontier pickup starting at just $21,800. 0% interest for 72 months on our most popular models. Rebates up to $10,000 and no payments until football season. I'm telling you, in the over 30 years I've been in the car business, I've never seen such incentives and low prices. I've got pages and pages of special interest rates, rebates, and bonus cash. Kraft Nissan even has a factory rebate for any credit score under 625 to help you with your down payment. Here's the deal. Nissan is America's fastest growing car company and they want to be number one, and they're buying market share. So please, before you buy, check out Kraft Nissan's exciting lineup of new vehicles. That's all I ask. Stop by Kraft Nissan and look. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Price includes dealer preparation charge.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. So dry. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your mouth cannonball into a barrel of mothballs? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? You're so parched. You know it. I know it. The entire radio knows it. Just admit it. You want a Mountain Dew. Your mouth feels like it just inhaled the insides of a punching bag, and the only remedy is that neon green potion. Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Refreshment Services Pepsi announces that Kiana Redding has been chosen Employee of the Month. An accounts receivable specialist, Kiana's determination, dedication to her work, and outstanding performance reflect the true spirit of Pepsi. Congratulations, Kiana.
Get your 4th of July party started at the Home Depot's Red, White, and Blue Savings Event. Right now, you can save up to 40% on appliance special buys, like the Whirlpool stainless steel French door refrigerator, perfect for storing sheet cakes and platters. Get it now for just $9.98. That's over $700 in savings. Shop our lowest prices of the season, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only while supplies last. See store for details. Valid 6/21 through 7/12.
Want to feel like a total boss? Then switch to the best deal in America, Total Wireless. With Total Wireless, you get America's largest, most dependable network plus 5 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited talk and text for only $35 a month. Whoa, how did you get all that? Oh, that's right. You're totally a total boss, and you never sign a contract. Total Wireless, total confidence. Available at Walmart. Always refer to the latest terms and conditions of service at TotalWireless.com.
Sea Quarters Marina, located right off Highway 98 in Carabel, Florida. They offer free Wi-Fi and pump outs. Laundry facilities, diesel pumps, and non-ethanol pumps are located on site. Transit boats are welcome, and the slips are 35 by 55. They have plenty of ice as well as beer for your all-day fishing trips. You can contact them by phone at 850-697-8400, online at seaquartersmarina.com, or like them on Facebook at Sea Quarters Marina.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things. Dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. All systems cleared for launch. Initiate launch sequence. T-minus 3, 2, 1, mark. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
You are now off the couch and out exploring the world.
Roger that.
Get charged up for what's coming next anytime, anywhere with Mountain Dew Kickstart. Available in 10 energizing flavors like mango lime, raspberry citrus, midnight grape, and orange citrus. Mountain Dew Kickstart. Fuel with flavor.
Refreshment Services Pepsi announces that Kiana Redding has been chosen Employee of the Month. An accounts receivable specialist, Kiana's determination, dedication to her work, and outstanding performance reflect the true spirit of Pepsi. Congratulations, Kiana.
TNT Hideaway has been renting canoes and kayaks on the Wakulla River for over 40 years. In addition to kayaks and canoes, they also offer stand-up paddleboards that you can rent for your paddling pleasure to view the wildlife on the river, which includes manatees, otters, turtles, and herons. TNT Hideaway also offers kayak fishing tours, paddling on the Wassissa and St. Marks rivers, as well as coastal paddles. TNT Hideaway, 6527 Coastal Highway, Crawfordville, 925-6412, or visit them online at tnthideaway.com.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. It was one heck of a season for the Garnet and Gold, but it ended just a few games too soon. Florida State loses for the second time in Omaha. That means their trip to Nebraska and their season come to an end, and it comes at the hands of LSU for the second time in less than a week. The Tigers get the Noles 7-4 last night. LSU scoring 5 runs in the second. The Noles could never recover. They finished the season at 46-23. The NBA draft is tonight. We know who will be going number 1. Beyond that is still a mystery. But some teams like the Bulls, the Celtics, and even the Spurs are shopping some of their big names, hoping to potentially move up in this year's draft. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr is one happy man today, finally signing on a deal. 5 years, $125 million. He's now a $25 million a year quarterback for a guy that's only been in the league just a couple short years.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online at ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming, free always. Woohoo! Miss anything, don't worry about it. We got you covered. All 3 hours going to be posted both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. That's a good thing. It's also brought to you with limited commercial interruption, thanks to our great sponsor, Carlton Dean, carltondean.com. Powered by Southland Commercial. Those guys, resource, knowledge, understanding, ways to make money in commercial real estate, income-producing properties. Go to carltondean.com. You can email the show if you want. It's jcs@979espnradio.com. Find me on Twitter at jcameronshow. WTSM app works for your mobile devices. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for that. ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube for those of you who want to tune in that way. As we stated earlier in the show, as they say, that is that. It's over. Season. Goodbye. Florida State falls 7-4 to LSU. They wake up late. Couple dongs when it didn't matter. In fact, in a weird way, Quincy Neaporte's home run made me angrier at Quincy Neaporte. But, you know.
Well, given that he came up and came within 15 feet.
Yeah. Thanks for the home run down 5 with nobody on base, dude. So, you can see how it can make you angry. But Florida State really has one thing to blame here, and that is their starting pitcher. And he was terrible. And, we worried. I said yesterday on the show with Cole Sands, you feel for him. I'm not trying to be mean. It sounds it. It does. But, I'm just stating it. He was terrible. There's no getting around that. That's a fact. He was awful. He gave them very little chance to win the game. And once that happens, I felt like Florida State would probably have hit better as well. I got to give their pitcher for LSU an awful lot of credit. He was dominant, pretty dominant anyhow. Certainly, statistically speaking, he was very good. And so their guy gave them a chance to win. Our guy did not. And at the end of the day, and listen, there's a reason that kid's got now 12 wins on the year. And he fell just short of pitching a complete game. Obviously, those 2 home runs in the 9th chased him. But Prior to that, he was very good.
Well, yeah, the ninth inning was a complete mirage because I think if the score had held and they hadn't tacked on
He's
in the
not
top
throwing
half,
the ball down the middle.
No, well, and he's not pitching. I think they bring Hess in a true save situation. And good God, that kid is a freshman. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's not a very likable guy.
No, but he's got major league closer stuff, and he's a freshman.
Yeah, well, okay, so this frustrates me because you know where I stand on this. You know, the day after a loss, it's hard for those kids. They ended up really turning their season around. 46-23 is a good season. Winning a game out in Omaha, you know, surviving and fighting back and getting a win after that first loss, as heartbreaking as it was, I can look at this season as nothing short of a success. And for much of the year, it didn't look like it was going to be. So I'm reticent to take shots at some elements of the team that continued to let us down. You know, we weren't great defensively again last night. Made a couple errors on plays that should just be made. And that's something that plagued the team and seems to consistently plague the team year in and year out these days. And that's frustrating. But also just certain aspects. And I get when you're at the College World Series, every team out there is good. They just are. They're one of the last 8 teams standing. Usually that's not a fluke. Usually those are good baseball teams. And this year's no different. Those are all good baseball teams. But when you see a guy like that come out of the bullpen for them, yeah, well.
It's like, really?
Yeah, and look what we're rolling out of the bullpen for our closer. Again, I'm reticent to take shots. My point is the style of pitcher he is as opposed to what we're doing. We moved Drew Carlton back into the bullpen spot because we thought we needed an experienced arm, a guy who had big moments in his FSU career who could handle the pressure of that. But we didn't move him there because he had overpowering stuff. He doesn't. And I'm a guy who prefers, and again, this is less about taking shots at kids, so I'm going to be careful here. What I'm saying is I'm a guy who at the end of my bullpen would like to miss bats. I mean, we're in a high-leverage situation. I'd like the ball to not be put in play. And we've got a guy that, that's not going to happen.
But the guy that did come out of the bullpen first last night was outstanding in Andrew Karp. And
he was great.
You can't really pin this one, too, on not making the move quick enough. I heard that a little bit last night at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
That's born out of frustration.
Man, it's a 3-run bomb. It's 2-0 there.
He's already got the pin up
right
at that point.
They're warming. You don't envision that somebody's going to put it in the bleachers, And I get that Sands didn't look sharp. He got through his first inning, but then clearly in the second inning, you're seeing his secondary pitches, the things that are the keys to his success. Your interview with Mike Martin Jr. when he asked about what changed for Parrish and what changed for Sands, he said the changeup. So when you're seeing him elevate his secondary pitches, you think, all right. Plus, there's already 2 runs across. So you're thinking to yourself, all right, he probably doesn't have it, so let's just get out of this jam, minimize the damage, and then the ball goes into the left field seats.
And the game is basically over at that point. Now, they kept fighting, but yeah, it's easy after Karp comes in and goes 5 2/3 in K's 7 to say, oh, well, they should have started Karp.
But I mean, he worked through a couple of jams too. Mm-hmm. So, what happens if Karp gives up the big hit in that situation? Then you say, well, we don't have any pitching at all. I mean, that's the hard part about college baseball. And I'm not crying for the coaching staff or anything like that. But, we look at these one-offs, and the game is baseball. But we're judging what a player is or is not in a lot of one-offs, especially as we get into the post. So it's hard to say that, in a true best-of-7 format, you might see Sands twice. Maybe he has a good day, maybe he has a bad day. Because by and large, he's been one of the arms that got you here down the stretch.
Yeah, he hasn't been very good.
For the most of the season, but I'm saying when we got better, okay, let's say Parrish had a bad outing in the College World Series in Game 2, you'd say, well, Drew was bad for most of the year anyway. You know
but
what I'm
he
saying?
showed better signs even late, and that's what – and he pitched to that. I mean – Cole's one of the great mysteries of the season because he's got good stuff. We can't back away from that fact. That's why they keep rolling him out there, because he's got good stuff. And when he's right, and we only got a few glimpses of that this year, when he's right, he's really good because he throws 4 pitches for strikes. And there aren't too many guys that can do that. He has plus stuff in a couple of areas. So that's really the great mystery. He was up in the zone too often, and his secondary stuff wasn't consistent. And so, and again, that's just an amateur's look at his pitching difficulties. I'm not Mike Bell, who I respect greatly. I just, that is really a frustrating aspect. And I know it sounds like I'm picking on him, but I'm picking on the result. Like that frustrated me because he's too good to have those results.
But again, we're hypersensitive to this in this particular market with this team and our program's history. That's not an indictment of you didn't get him out of the ball game too quickly.
No,
I don't think that was the case last night.
There was not a managerial problem with last night's loss. They lost a baseball game. The other team pitched well. I mean, it's just sometimes that happens, and it's aggravating. There are things about it that frustrate you. There are elements of the loss that were indicative of some of the things that aggravated you about the team over the course of the season. So Sands didn't have a good year. Well, he didn't have a good night. We didn't play very good defense this year. We didn't play very good defense last night. So, I mean, these things carry over and do haunt you in these big moments. But.
Sure, and Mendoza, you had the one error on the toss over to first base, which, I mean, good God. But that tells you everything about what the team is if you want to look at it through the vision.
He also went yard, yeah.
Yes, with a Herculean blast. I don't care that the wind's blowing out.
He did get that sucker in the jet stream, but yeah.
But you're talking about full extension. It doesn't look like he got it off the bat. You're thinking, all right, maybe that's going to land in the gap.
Then you look up,
and then you look up, and it's still going. I mean,
and he has the highest home run rate per at bat on the team, so not having him for a lot of the year did hurt us with the overall record. But
and for his experience too, he'd be a more seasoned player
without question. Yeah, and it would have taken him a while to get going and all that. So yes, there could have been more wins on the ledger because of what we now know him to be. That's true. And he's one of the spots that you look forward to going into next year, along with Parrish and a few other guys that you'd say, oh, okay, well, this is exciting.
Depending upon who signs and who doesn't. But, Mendoza appears to be the only holdover. I mean, Henderson's graduated, and then where Busby and Walls have been drafted, you think that they're gone.
Yeah.
So Mendoza will be the only holdover from the infield. But that's unless the catcher position.
I was say Cal Raleigh will, yeah.
Yeah. But they've got a couple of nice pieces moving forward, and as long as this is going to be the big one.
Holton.
If Holton stays, because he wants another year.
Money.
Well, and he wants another year to put the bat on display,
Well, I think it's an interesting dilemma, too, man. If you believe the rumors, and I'm only engaging in rumors and all of that here, but the numerous people who would know, I think, have noted that Holton got drafted where he did because he had basically made it known that, hey, I like playing college baseball. I'm going to probably play another year of college baseball. And if you want me not to play a year of college baseball and come on, I'm going to need $1 million after taxes. I'm going to need $1 million. And teams were like, whoa. And so, but players will do that. That's not a knock.
No, that's nothing new. Yeah.
Players will say, listen, this is what it's going to take.
Well, and it happens a lot for first-year players, too.
Absolutely.
You're talking out of high school or saying, I'm going to go with the college. Clearly, this Hess kid, whoever the hell this Hess kid is, I guess he turned down money so he could go pitch at LSU and throw 97 and waste his arm for a few years. He'd been making a lot of money with that stuff. Ridiculous.
Well, let's go to break. That's correct. He will. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
And fix it. Our customers never have to worry about being left behind for the next job. At Parker Brothers, it's quality that builds our quantity. Call us at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, Professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
License number CCC 049350.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. How do I convey to you just how good the incentives and discounts are on America's fastest growing car company, Nissan? Seriously, please shop Kraft Nissan before you buy. No one has the incentives and low prices we have. Not Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Honda, or Hyundai. $5,800 in savings on Altima SR. Brand new automatic Frontier pickup starting at just $21,800. 0% interest for 72 months on our most popular models. Rebates up to $10,000 and no payments until football season. I'm telling you, in the over 30 years I've been in the car business, I've never seen such incentives and low prices. I've got pages and pages of special interest rates, rebates, and bonus cash. Kraft Nissan even has a factory rebate for any credit score under 625 to help you with your down payment. Here's the deal. Nissan is America's fastest growing car company, and they want to be number one, and they're buying market share. So please, before you buy, check out Kraft Nissan's exciting lineup of new vehicles. That's all I ask. Stop by Kraft Nissan and look. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Price includes dealer preparation charge.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Combined with home runs and not much else. So we don't get a lot of action, and that's causing real concern for people in baseball, and they're talking about what to do to offset that. And I said, Tom, we were kind of debating about what would happen. And I said, well, baseball has a weird way, if you recall, we were talking about this, and I said, of writing itself. Usually something comes along, an innovation, a different philosophy. Somebody decides, we're swinging and missing too much. I don't like this. I'm going to buck the trend here. I know we're hitting home runs. I'm going to try something different. And if it works, then it's a copycat thing. All leagues really are. You see this in offense with football and defense and all that stuff. Well, I began to look around because I wanted to see I guess, statistically speaking, is there anybody doing that now? And there is. I found an article. It wasn't through anything insight that I had, but in looking at the division leaders, I wanted to see just how they differed, if at all, from a strikeout situation. The Astros don't strike out. And they're also the best team in baseball, arguably. And they hit a ton of home runs and still don't strike out. And it's because their GM, Jeff Lundhow, is not having it. It's really cool. He got tired of watching them swing and miss. It was all born out of frustration. Today's article in the Wall Street Journal reads as follows. For the first 5 years of GM Jeff Lundhow's tenure, the Houston Astros did one thing better than all of their peers, failed to make contact. From 2012 to 2016, the Astros whiffed 400 times more than their closest rival. Holy bejesus, that's a lot of striking out. 400 times more than your next closest team.
That's just a few ball games.
Appearing to epitomize the growing view that strikeouts are a necessary concession in the pursuit of power and production, right? But even as the once embarrassing punch-out lost its stigma, the constant stream of hitters slinking back to the dugout bothered Lundhow, the architect of perhaps the sport's most data-driven organization. I saw firsthand the second-order effect of the high strikeout world, which is killing the rallies, the not being able to produce the extra runs from guys getting on base, Lundhow said in a recent interview at Minute Maid Park. We hit a ton of home runs, but it didn't necessarily help us win a lot more ball games. So this winter, Lundhow fought back, and the numbers speak for themselves. More than 40% of the way through the season, the Astros own the best record in Major League Baseball, and their lineup defies logic. They still hit home runs, boatloads of them. Entering this week's action, just one home run behind the New York Yankees for the league lead. But even when they don't hit home runs, they put the ball in play at a rate practically unheard of for a group with so much thump. They strike out in just 17% of their plate appearances, the lowest in Major League Baseball. If they continue their pace, the Astros could join the 1995 American League champion Cleveland Indians as the only team since 1913 to rank first in the major leagues in home runs and last in strikeouts. Hell of a combination there. We do prefer a model where we make contact, said Lunhow. We see the results of that. Lunhow isn't asserting that the Astros have discovered a secret formula to mashing home runs without helping increase strikeouts. But he did seek to build a roster with more emphasis on contact. He acquired Norioki, Josh Reddick, Carlos Beltran, 3 players with lifetime strikeout rates under 17%. That's far below the average in Major League Baseball, which is over 20%. That trio complements an offensive unit loaded with young talent, established stars such as Carlos Correa, burgeoning stars like George Springer, Alex Bergman. All 3 of those players have seen their strikeout rates drop in 2017 from a year ago. The Astros lead the majors in batting average and on-base plus slugging percentage to go along with their barrage of home runs. Contact is your friend. It is the name of the game. There are a lot of things that can happen when you put the ball in play, says A.J. Hinch. What we've developed is a lineup that has quality at-bats every time and puts the ball in play. They accomplish this by preaching an approach at the plate that seems to go against modern baseball wisdom. Reddick said that with the Boston Red Sox and Oakland Athletics, his employers from 2009 until last August, we were taught to work counts, try to tire out pitchers. They preached patience, value walks, even if it led to more strikeouts. The Astros do not subscribe to that notion. They empower their players to swing away at the first hittable strike that they see. As a result, they see just 3.8 pitches per plate appearance, 5th fewest in all of baseball. Hinch calls it a swing-first attitude rather than the take-first mindset that he saw with other teams. To Hinch, the ultra-patient style once so prevalent is now an outdated model, and the Astros are at the forefront of what they believe to be a smarter way. Many teams have striven to drive the starters' pitching count up and force their opponent to turn to the bullpen early. Now with relievers becoming more dominant, starters are taken out early anyway, said Hinch. In most cases, the Astros believe facing an opposing bullpen can actually be a death sentence. The notion that the manager is going to wait 100 pitches to take the starter out, it's not how it's handled anymore. The danger of going up trying to take pitches is you miss a lot of pitches that you could have driven. It looks as if the players have bought in, even ones not exactly known for contact. Catcher Brian McCann struck out in 19% of his plate appearances with the Yankees over the last 2 years. A left-handed swinger, he said he had gotten into some bad habits by aiming for the short right field porch at Yankee Stadium. Since arriving in Houston in November, McCann has retooled his swing, focusing on keeping his front shoulder closed, working to the middle of the field, strikeout rate now under 14%. He's also homering every 16 at-bats, the best mark of his entire career. Kind of interesting, right? Success stories like that have come to define the Astros as they chase their first World Series title. They named several other guys whose strikeout rates have plummeted because of the new approach. They're talking about whether or not the players have all bought in. Well, collectively as a team, and I'm kind of paraphrasing now just to skip out some of the weeds in the article here, they hate striking out, and it's a contest in the clubhouse on a given night between the players if you can have your 4 to 5 at-bats not end in a strikeout. And that's the approach time and again. Pretty interesting, though, right?
Yeah, what I'd be interested to find out, and I'm looking at it right now because you were talking about this, how sustainable, is this model? Is this something where they're an outlier this year? But you know what? The place I went was to look at batting average on balls put in play. So are they getting really lucky that with all the contact that they're making this year, a lot of these balls that would be caught or 50-50, whatever, they're going their way. Well, they're 13th in the MLB. So they're middle of the road on batting average for balls put in play. That means that this might be a sustainable model. It's just
pretty cool.
I don't think you're going to be able to marry the power results. Like, think about the 2015 world champion Kansas City Royals. I mean, what were they notorious for? You can't strike them out.
No.
And when they went to 2 strikes, I mean, you were screwed. You'd have to, hope that when they put the ball in play, it was right at somebody, or, baseball would allow for the out itself. It wasn't a 3 true outcome situation. But they didn't have the power to go with it. So this team has the power, and that would certainly explain why they're the best team in baseball. Because I've watched a whole lot of Houston Astros baseball.
Yeah. They're good. And they're fun to watch, actually. And partly it's because, they're not sitting around waiting. You know, this is interesting, too. The other reason when we were talking about this that I thought things might change in relatively soon is you notice, maybe even last night is a good example. In Florida State, people they make certain assumptions because Florida State leads the country in walks every year. And they'll say, well, we sit and look at too many pitches. Well, they didn't last night. I mean, my man was at 80-something pitches in the 7th or 8th inning. I think he had 98 pitches going into the 8th or 90 pitches going into the 8th, something like that. I mean, he was cruising. It wasn't that we were sitting around waiting on that guy. But when we have those conversations, people hate the idea of working counts. Now, I think that's because they view it as, hey, all too often it leads to a situation where you're behind the 8 ball and or you strike out looking. A lot of strikeout looking when you're working counts, those kinds of things. But I do believe the attitude, the idea that if you've got a ball to drive, whether that's first pitch, third pitch, fifth pitch, the first ball that you can drive, it's more about knowing your zone than it is. Like even within the strike zone, there are cold spots and hot spots for hitters. There are strikes you should take that you're not going to be able to do anything with. Your swing playing the way that you've hit, we monitor these things. We know you're hitting 107 in the bottom quadrant of the strike zone. We need you to get the ball up. You seem to drive balls in the upper portion of the strike zone, and vice versa. There are guys that are low ball hitters, etc. And then in, out, all that stuff. It's about knowing your strike zone and getting a pitch in that area where you tend to drive the ball.
Yeah, last night, they abandoned that approach because I think they do err on the side of taking pitches. And,
sure.
In the 3rd inning, the kid Poche is starting to stagger just a little bit. And so you want to see what you can do. Wells walks a leadoff he works a leadoff walk. Then you get yourself into a fielder's choice with Holton, then Walls comes up. But he hasn't, demonstrated a whole lot of control to the first 2 batters in the inning, and then you swing first pitch, you ground to a double play. I mean, umpires' calls aside last night, I just found that interesting. Now, in the 5th inning, I don't know if they had a meeting in the dugout and they had changed approach, because the Henderson single that sets up the Wells first pitch double play ground ball, the Henderson single was on the first pitch. So I don't know if they just said, you know what, guys, if you see it, go after it tonight. Because there are times that adjustments are made in game, but I thought in a couple of instances last night, it looked like that the kid was a bit weak, and he looked like he might have been mentally teetering. And I thought we needed to get into the bullpen last night to really have a chance to put up that run total around 6 or 8. And we decided, okay, now let's just keep swinging early in the counts. So
well,
it's a bit frustrating because we have a signature. We're not the Astros. That's not our approach. The Houston Astros approach is not ours. But I thought we got away from that a little bit last night.
A little bit. I think it's also because Poche was throwing strikes. And I think at some point they recognized,
I hear you, but I think there were certain points in the game where it looked like he was losing command and we were bailing him out.
Oh,
and so
maybe.
that kept his count low.
Yeah, Poche ended up, it was 102 pitches through 8 innings. So, and we only worked 2 walks total for the game. So,
right.
And we struggled with that. They got a good start from their starter. We got an embarrassing start from ours. There's nothing left to talk about. Our starter sucked, as he has most of the year. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough. like a state of mind. Tough like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Honey Veggies and Herbs, 3 for just $12. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 4th, Continental U.S. only. See store for details.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Kabbage is so important. Kabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Kabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at Kabbage.com/owner or 855-KABBAGE. That's Kabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
All right. Could Louis Anderson, the comedian?
Louis Anderson.
Yeah, I like good old fat Louis.
He was awesome. He is awesome.
Yeah, he's not dead. Louis
Okay.
fine.
No,
He's
John
actually in
Candy.
a show. Yeah, John Candy's been dead for years.
Man, John Candy was great.
He was great. I think of Louis Anderson as a guy that could never win a fight against anything or anybody. Super sweet, jolly guy, but doesn't look like he has any kind of... He has no squabbles.
I bet he could beat John Panette in a fight.
Could he beat a boar? A wild boar?
A wild boar?
Yeah, not a tame one. Could he beat a boar?
No.
It would. That'd be a quick fight.
That would be, well...
Boars, I think they eat you, too, afterwards.
Oh, they'll eat you.
They eat you.
Everything.
That's the best thing about a boar.
That's why you can never trust people that have pigs, man.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the Tax Relief Line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 888-789-5042. 888-789-5042, 888-789-5042, 888-789-5042.
This Day in Sports brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This day in sports history. June 22nd, 1986. Argentina's Diego Maradona scored the Hand of God goal. The ball was allegedly punched into the net against England in the World Cup quarterfinals at Mexico City to help his team to a 2-1 win. After reviewing pictures, it was obviously a handball, but there was no replay at the time. Argentina would go on to win the World Cup.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car, yes sir.
Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. It was one heck of a season for the Garnet and Gold, but it ended just a few games too soon. Florida State loses for the second time in Omaha. That means their trip to Nebraska and their season come to an end, and it comes at the hands of LSU for the second time in less than a week. The Tigers get the Noles 7-4 last night. LSU scoring 5 runs in the second. The Noles could never recover. They finished the season at 46-23. The NBA draft is tonight. We know who will be going number 1. Beyond that is still a mystery. history. But some teams like the Bulls, the Celtics, and even the Spurs are shopping some of their big names, hoping to potentially move up in this year's draft. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr is one happy man today, finally signing on a deal. 5 years, $125 million. He's now a $25 million a year quarterback for a guy that's only been in the league just a couple short years.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I have to give you the obligatory park the car, Meadow. Park the car. Journey on the show means only one thing. It means Matt Millar is about to be on the show. And that's a good thing. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm good. Why won't you park the car? Dad's about to die, man.
Park
Get in the diner.
the car.
Get in the diner. Park the car.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? That whole scene, it's so well done. I was screaming at the TV, just park it. What's wrong with you? Who cares that your tire's on the curb? It doesn't matter. Let's go.
If he'd have done a better job of teaching her how to parallel park, we wouldn't be in this situation. He's about to get off, Meadow.
Of course, if he wasn't in the mob, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, there's that angle,
There's that angle, too. If he hadn't decided to join the mob at a young age, maybe he wouldn't be in this predicament either. All right.
Things happen.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. We do this every year. For those new to the show, you've missed out on a treat then all these years. Some time ago, probably 15 years ago now, literally, I decided it would be fun one day to ask Matt, who I knew he was my producer at the time, and I knew he didn't watch the NBA, like, at all. And I thought, I don't even know who some of these foreign-born players are that are coming into the league. And the league was just at a stage where that was beginning to happen, where European-born players in particular were coming to the States to play and making it into the NBA draft. And we hadn't even heard of them. We had no idea who these guys were. And so I asked Matt, player by player, of the candidates that were going to likely get drafted that night, could he name the country of origin just by the way that I pronounced the name. And it was both making fun of me and my inability to pronounce foreign-born players and making fun of Matt because he thinks that everybody sounds like this. No. That's how when
he's from Germany.
Yeah, anybody that he ever did a foreign accent for sounded like an angry Chinaman. And he would, no. And it was always like, what?
Dude, please, Asian American.
Preferred nomenclature, Tom.
Yeah, here we go. All right, you ready for the draft? These are, let me just give you this. No guarantee these guys are going to get drafted, all right? I'll admit that. But we ranked the top international prospects in the 2017 NBA draft. Or we didn't rank them, but we found a list where somebody had. And we're going to start with this one. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. You got to tell me the country of origin. Matthias Lesort.
One more time.
Matthias Lesort.
He's from, well, it's usually, he's from Latvia, Jeff. He's from Latvia.
France.
France.
Matthias Lesort is from France, good sir.
I almost went Portugal. That would have been closer.
He's projected somewhere between the 25th pick and the 45th pick, if you're wondering at home.
Sure.
Here you go, buddy. Anzej Pasinic. Anzej Pasinic.
He's from Greece.
He's from Latvia.
No, he went off.
Oh, yeah. A little sneaky dinky.
They're always from Latvia.
He's a center from Latvia. They're basketball playing Jesse's in Latvia. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Jonathan. Oh, well, no, there you go. I don't know. That could be anywhere.
Isaac?
No.
Yeah.
Jean. Jonathan Jean.
What? I mean, I hope this doesn't sound rude. Is he from China?
France.
Oh, man.
Jonathan Jean is from France. Oh, good Lord. All right.
All right.
Rodions Kurkus. I tried to help you here.
No, I think I got it. I'm gonna go Greece, but I'm hoping Greece. He's from Greece.
Latvia. Oh man, we have a shooting forward from Latvia.
What the hell are they doing in Latvia? They're grooming some basketball players, aren't they?
Apparently. Isaiah Hartenstein.
I mean, he's got to be from Germany, doesn't he?
He is from Germany.
Oh, hey, I finally got one. Oh,
right.
God.
If you want, you can find Hartenstein's mixtape on YouTube. Here we go. Frank. Okay, so we got a Frank. Frank Tilakina. Frank Tilakina.
I got to go back to Greece. We got to get one of them in there.
France.
I think these guys are leaving their country of origin just to go to other countries to play and then come to the NBA. So he probably was born in Greece.
You think so? Yeah, he's hopping countries. That's not his origination?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got you. It's a small list. That's it. That's all we got, man.
That's all we got.
You went over.
I got one this year. I think I got two last year.
Did he get one? Who did he get?
Germany.
Oh, Germany. Yeah. He couldn't mess up on Hartenstein.
No, that was tough to mess up on.
That was good. By the way, I will also say if you find this list online, like, for example, it's unfair. Matt should have done better. I mispronounced one of the names, if you can believe it. Rodions is not Kurkus, but Kuruks. It's Kuruks.
Oh, I would have definitely guessed Latvia then.
Yeah, you would have known it was Latvia then. And it is Latvia. I also think that he may be a member of some sort of illegal outfit because if you look at him, the picture is grainy, like they had to secretly take it at some practice that he was at underground. Like you can't even get good footage on this guy. I think he's running from other hitmen. Like he may be a hitman himself. I don't know. But that's Rodions Kuruks.
He can get you a toe.
With nail polish.
With nail polish.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Later. Rodions Kuruks. I think I said Kurkuks or Kurukus or something like that. Rodion. I'm telling you, go look at the picture of Rodion if you can find it. It's grainy FBI footage. He's a weapons dealer.
If you didn't give him Hartenstein.
And I gave him a hardcore on the Hartenstein.
Okay. If you didn't, or he got that wrong, would you have given him something like Dwayne Bacon just so he was on the board for the year?
Yeah.
He can't go with a 0.
He can. He's done 0 before.
Has he?
Yeah, one year we had 10 guys that were thought to be making their way into the league, the foreign-born players, and he got, I think, 7. It was a banner year for Matt. I must have been really on my pronunciation game that night. But then also we had a year, I think, where there were 8 foreign-born players coming into the league, and he got 0. He didn't get a single one. And he missed some obvious ones, like Hartenstein. Like he missed an obvious one where you go, come on, man.
Every year that I see the Scripps National Spelling Bee and these kids go into like round 150, and sometimes they exhaust all the words.
Right.
They need to have a wild card around,
foreign-born players. Yeah.
Well, sure, just like, the 5th from the final round, you start pronouncing the words. So there's the wild card. Good luck, kids.
All right, let's see what you got here. You can't ask me the origin of the word because that would be telling you where he's from. So I can't do that. You would have to just trust that I'm not making the kind of mistake I made with Rodions Kuruks.
May I have the country of origin, sir?
No, you can't. Got to guess that one. That's the whole point of the game there, kid. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic, backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Sunday starting at 11 a.m. The all-new Saltwater Seafood Company, an original seafood and cocktail lounge, 1926 Capitol Circle Northeast. Call them at 329-2105 or head on over to saltwaterseafoodcompany.com to check out their brand new menu.
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jax accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jax catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jax has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer. 574-4100. And presented by TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, Georgia. And Franklin Spring Creek Ford.
Hi everyone, this is Gabe Grass, founder of Grasslands Brewing Company. You and your friends are invited for a night of celebration at Grasslands Taproom on June 29th from 6 to 10 p.m. as we finally started brewing on our production system and we're ready to distribute our kegs to a bar or restaurant near you. There will be live music by Tuesday Supper Club on the Garages on Games patio, brewery tours, food pairings by St. Everest Sausage House, and of course, Grasslands core beers and special releases just for the occasion. It's because of you that we've come this far, and we're extremely thankful. Come celebrate with us on the 29th. Prost.
You're locked in with The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Wrapping it up, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Well, you know, at the very least, now that Florida State's baseball season is over, I can, in good conscience, leave for Washington, D.C., Tom, and not feel bad about leaving these airwaves barren for a little while. I thought it was going to be one of those dreadful situations where I'd be in D.C. and they'd be competing in the championship round of the College World Series. That would have been tough to take.
Well, yeah, you were leaving anyway.
I'm going anyhow, so this just makes it easier to do that. NBA draft tonight. You going to watch? You excited? You'll watch up until Isaac's drafted, right? That's the end of that.
That is precisely correct, yes. Watch right up until he's drafted. I hear the word Jonathan, and then I click over to another channel.
As long as we don't see sorry-ass Sacramento take him. You can't go to Sacramento, Jonathan, and you can't go to Phoenix. Can't go to Phoenix or Sacramento. I'll never see you play.
There are more candidates, aren't there?
Well, Orlando. He can go to Orlando. Oh, you mean just in general in the league? Like, don't go to Denver. I'll never watch you again.
Exactly.
No.
There are many. This is the discussion we had about contraction.
That's right. He may go to Minnesota, and actually, that's a good up-and-coming team. They may make me watch Minnesota basketball. I might suddenly be a Timberwolves fan. Who would have thunk it?
Minnesota sports.
Well, that's a fun team. They all can jump out of the gym. I mean, it's kind of a fun, yeah. He's got to get so much stronger. I'm thinking about that quest to become an all-star for him, right? You know, to become that kind of player. I like how many positions he can defend. I like that he's a willing defender. I like that he's a hard worker. He's a smart player. He can score, obviously, but he's just got to get – his big thing is he's going to have to – the only thing I worry about is two things. He's not a quintessential anything, right? He's not a quintessential 4 or a 5 or a 3.
Right, not yet.
Yeah, no. And so there's not that, and then strength. That's it. Other than that, I like his chances of being a very good player.
Well, Minnesota went 31-51 last year. Obviously, if they're going to be in a position to draft Isaac, but damn, I mean, you have Karl Anthony Towns and Rubio and Wiggins. You're
throw Jonathan Isaac in there.
Yeah,
it's kind of a fun team.
Could be.
Could be a fun team. All right, let's do some probables. Let's get this out.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
You know, now I think I want him to go to Minnesota. I like that team. That's a fun team. Give me that. Give me Minnesota. Go look at that roster again. Put Jonathan Isaac on there. That's kind of fun. I'd watch him.
The 4 times that they're on every year, yeah.
You got to find them. I'll have to watch NBA television. I have never done.
You're not subscribing to an NBA All Access thing. No way.
That's correct. I'm not. A lot of day games today. Tons of them. I bet on them. Indians, Orioles tonight. All right, Mike Clevenger. I'm going to need you to stop with the sucking. It was a nice little story there for a while, but I don't care whose family knows whose family. This kid sucks these days. I need him to be better. I have him on my team. Selfishly, I need him to be better.
You have him on your team?
My fantasy team.
Why?
I mean, we need lots of starters, and he had 2 great starts. I picked him up off the scrap heap. I thought, all right, Clevenger's got some things going. It's a little tug of the heartstrings because you know somebody who knows him. And so I was like, all right, I'll grab him. And then he promptly sucked again and again. And so I'm getting angry with him now.
All right, logical.
Well, they sent his ass back down to the minors, too. They were so upset with him, but he's getting a start here. All right, Mike, I'm watching you. Against Wade Miley tonight of the Orioles. There you go. Angels, Yankees, Jesse Chavez, Luis Severino. Cubs, Marlins, Jake Arrieta. Probably on steroids. Jeff Locke going for the Marlins. Giants, Braves, Matt Cain, Jaime Garcia. Unwatchable baseball right there, huh? Tigers, Mariners, Daniel Norris, Andrew Moore. Mets, Dodgers. Tom, I think you want to get as far away from the Dodgers as possible here soon. This is not a pretty...
Any roster, really. I just want to get away from any roster.
Man, the dongs are everywhere in that series.
Makes me think of Walk Hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Oh,
you know?
That's what it's like for the
Chavez
Mets right
Ravines,
now.
like Walk Hard.
No. Steven Matz will go tonight for the Mets. And Ryu will go for the Dodgers. Matz has given the Mets, look at this. 7 innings each of his last 2 starts, Tom. 2-0 with a 1.50, 13 Ks.
Touchdown Cowboys.
Those are in his 2 career starts against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. He's been real good. So let's hope that's 3 good starts.
Our season's over, man. We're not. No, our season's over. Yeah, but let's just keep it that way.
You want to hold out a little bit of hope, right? Just a little bit of hope.
No, we're not going to pitch. We're not going to start to pitch. So if we don't start to pitch,
well, but man, it's not even the All-Star break. What do you do? It's not even the All-Star break.
I have no idea. This is new.
You gonna watch Pirates baseball? The division's so bad, we're in it.
That division is so awful.
So awful, we're in it. We got a chance. All right, kids, I'll do this for you, all right? This is all you need to know. 64 days until college football begins.
Oh, thank goodness.
64, that's nothing. That's a few sleeps. You're good to go. A couple weekends. Well, when I get back from vacation, though, how great is that going to be? I mean, down in the 50s? Now, that actually, 64 sounds like a lot. I'm not going to lie. When you start talking about 50-something days, oh, buddy.
Yeah.
It's go time.
Sure. I got vacation coming up the middle of
Yeah.
next month.
Yeah.
When I get back, I mean, camp is right around the corner.
Literally, it is. Well, and I think I saw something today. What are we, 35 or 37 days away from, like, the first couple NFL camps starting? So it's...
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, in the 30s, buddy.
Yeah,
So
Hard Knocks, man. Get some Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah, all right. That's a look at those. The Chow Rosado. Do you do, because I've had a lot of experience in this over the years, when the Pirates were routinely losing 100-plus games and really were one of the worst teams in baseball, not just a team not making the playoffs, but like one of the worst in baseball. For a very long stretch, that was the case in that 20 years of not finishing above 500. So I had to get creative in the way that I went about watching seasons. It didn't take long, unfortunately. Right around this time every year, I knew, well, still not going to finish over 500, right? So at that point, kind of, what do I do? Well, I would pick a pet team. I'd pick a team that I just liked for some reason. It could be a player, could be a manager, could be I've been to the city and I enjoyed the people, maybe the stadium. One year it was Seattle. I like Seattle. I like the city. I like the mentality. I like the music. I like the art, the literature. I've been to the stadium. I like it. So I fancy myself sort of a pseudo, fan of Seattle. I mean, they're down the list. I'm a Pirates fan, and then it's the Rays, and then it's just a hodgepodge of teams here and there that I like a little bit. Your girlfriend is a big Twins fan.
Sure.
So you'll watch the Twins because they're in the race in the Central.
Yeah, they're defying the odds. Yeah.
So maybe you would adapt them. The Rays right now are having a good season.
Well, yeah.
They're having
with,
a good season.
With the two halves and the Red Sox and the Yankees, that dynamic is cool to see them take on the juggernauts.
Right.
And, maybe they can continue what they're doing. Yeah, that would be a good pet team this year.
Yeah, watch the Rays a little bit. They hit a lot of home runs. Fun team.
Well, and for me, the thing I'm looking for is the trade deadline. What pieces are we going to sell off? What can we get in return? And then when the rosters expand, or ahead of that, because Super 2 is cleared, you call up a couple of our position
you watch
players.
the young guys.
Yeah, then I'll watch the young guys.
So then Collins is going to get fired this year?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that because they played hard for him for so many years. And
weird baseball managers, right?
Who
do you want?
Oh, God. I don't even, man, it's the same cycle of, 20 dudes.
Who's the hothead down in the minors who got in trouble?
Wally Backman.
Yeah, you want Wally Backman to get in there?
I don't know. I don't know how fragile this team's state of mind is. I prefer new management, and that's not, management, not manager. We're in a bit of a rough spot. Maybe David Wright will be our manager because he's certainly not playing the game of baseball
Mr.
ever
Met.
again.
Everybody loves him, right?
Yeah,
Captain America. Mm-hmm. All right, get in there and save the Mets.
No, I thought our guys pitched well tonight.
Oh, no, you wouldn't be able to live with that. You'd grow to hate him. It would drive you nuts, and it's no fault of his own. He's got a girl's voice. You'd just be so mad. You'd be like, oh.
We're going to play tough baseball.
Oh, no. Stop it, David. All right, good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be well. Talk to you tomorrow.